Welcome back, everyone. This is Akinar here with more blueprints. It is time for us to begin day 10 of our drafting. Let us begin. If you were not here for whatever reason for day 9, if you missed day 9, stop what you're doing right now and go watch the previous video. Day 9 was insane. So much happened. So many insane, crazy things happened. By the way, I'm noting the time on the house is, Cat Laser Brain, is 8 o'clock. I assume a.m. If we're starting the day, it's got to be 8 a.m., right? We are starting also with a key. That was another thing that happened, and it was time related. So much happened last time. And I just, I'm still getting over it, if I'm being honest. The most important thing of which, though, is we reached the antechamber, and we procured the key to the basement, and we explored into that underground basement area. And then we found the reservoir, we found an underground mine, we found all sorts of various clues and hints and torn halves of pages and all sorts of information that needs to be pieced together. And of course, the only way to do that is to keep drafting. So let's get it started. The first room here, the shrine. I did forget to check my menu. I don't think we have our shrine buff anymore. I don't think we have that available to us, but it didn't even proc one time. I'm not sure if we have 1 day active yet still on it. Maybe we have one more day left, but it has not been something that we've been able to make use of. For whatever reason, I guess there's not that many spread rooms, really, is what it boils down to. And I guess I've just not... The spread rooms tend to cost gems. And I don't know. We just didn't make it work. Maybe there are different blessings to get. That might be... There are almost certainly different blessings, right? This would be a reason to redraft the shrine in the future to see what other sorts of blessings that you get. Especially now that we should be starting on a better footing with coins. The other amazing thing that happened last time is we got not one but 2 upgrade discs. So now our storeroom is one of those upgraded rooms, and it gives us not 1 but 10 coins. Whenever we do draft it here to begin. So do we want? I don't think we're going to pick the shrine. It's either the shelter or the tool shed. The shelter would be very nice to give us that effect against the red rooms. Negating the red rooms is a big deal. At least it feels like a big deal to me, especially if you can get one of those really impactful red rooms like the archives to be fully negated. The other reason to draft the shelter would be to get a gem. We could do the time lock safe right off the bat, and I would know how to do it this time. We would just have to wait a little bit to get it. But the one that we have drafted, it's been the longest. We've drafted all 3 of these before, but the one that we drafted the least recently is the tool shed. And I think I want to see what other items there are in the tool shed. Maybe we might even get that wrench offered again, which would be awesome, because now I really want to play with the laboratory. We got to draft the laboratory for the first time, and I would love to be able to make the laboratory more common, but we'll see. I don't think I see a wrench. What I do see, oh my god, is I see a shovel. Okay, well, maybe that is slightly less thrilling. There is also a sledgehammer. Okay, so these are, it says special items. Our blessing to the chef is gone, as I suspected. It says special items, but we've had these before. The sledgehammer and the shovel they don't quite feel, I wouldn't classify them as special per se. So, okay, that is a little bit, I will admit, just a little bit disappointing, but hopefully we get some trunks to make up for that fact. And some dig spots that have things in them. My issue with the shovel so far has been that dig spots seem to be empty more commonly than I would prefer. So we'll have to see if we can get a little bit luckier today on that front. I don't think there's anything that I want to do outside. Now that we've made it down into that basement area, they're really, we'll see if a draft manages to take us to the point where we're back into the antechamber, we would get This is the thing that could be worth going through the antechamber, into the antechamber again, is because I don't know for sure that the reward is going to be the same every time. I suspect it probably is. It probably is that red key that you would get each and every time you go in there, and that would give you access to this area. And the only way to get access to the other parts of that reservoir slash underground mine would be to actually draft something like, I think the tomb is the one we would be looking for, because the tomb entrance was one of the things mentioned on the piece of paper down there. Where do we draft the tomb? I don't know. It could be that it's an outer room. It could be that it's like a very rare offering as the outer room. That would sort of make sense from like a building standpoint. I could see that the tomb would more naturally lead. It would make more sense to put it as an outer room as opposed to just a random room somewhere in the house. But we'll see how it goes. What we are going to start with, once again, is I think we are going to draft the center. And we're going to see how that behaves and the options that we get from the center before we start anything else. Okay. The corridor, we could start the way that we did yesterday by drafting a straight-through room that that goes to rank 3 and sort of spreads out the opening from the entrance hall. But the other option could be the closet. It feels awkward, but having a dead end in the center of the entrance hall, I mean, it is awkward no matter what you do. But there are ways around it. You still have, well, see, I'm less confident now about this. I had, as I was thinking off camera previously, I had thought that the pantry and other elbows behave consistently when they're chained together. But we learned last time that that's not the case. So it does seem, if you're not up against a wall, elbows and other three-ways and such are going to behave randomly, essentially randomly. That's the way that that's the assumption that I'm operating under. So that means that if we put a closet here and then we wanted to put an elbow, the elbows and the dead ends are the most likely offerings at the start here. If we were to put an elbow to the side of the entrance hall and then get another elbow offered, there's a chance it would dead end into the closet. And we would be severely limited on options right off the bat. The corridor, it feels bad for us to use its effect here or completely lose its effect. So I don't know what I want to do here exactly. It's between, the other option would just be the pantry, right? Just take the pantry and keep your options open. It's totally fine to have an elbow here. If everything is indeed random, then you don't know what you're going to get unless you're up against a wall. And it could be correct to go through the pantry and just draft it and see where that room faces. And then you would know kind of what you want to do with the entrance hall to the right. The one argument for taking the closet is that it does seem rather likely to give you 1 die. And so even though it does close off your options from a doors standpoint, it sort of opens them up with the having that redraw. I don't love, I always want to take advantage of the corridor being unlocked because that is an awesome effect, knowing how hairy things can get with keycard doors and whatnot in the later stages. But I do really like the spacing feels better when we have a straight through here compared to an elbow. It just feels like you're keeping 3 potential branches growing up, having a branch that kind of roughly goes up the center, one that goes up the side, and one that goes up the left. I don't know. Maybe that's wrong, because do our drafts really play out that way? I'm not really drafting 3 different directions per se, but you're leaving your options open is what you're doing. You're leaving 3 different potential directions to go. But maybe that's a misconception that I have. It's once again this compulsion of make things look pretty or color within the lines. And maybe that's not the proper instinct here. The proper instinct is just, hey, let's take the pantry. The fact that it elbows to the right and things are not symmetrical, it's going to be okay. Keep your options open here and just see what happens. You get 3 options offered in a draft, and you can make one of them work. So I think let's do that. Let's take the pantry. And then what I will do after drafting the pantry is I don't want another elbow on the pantry. So I'd like, if there's going to be another elbow offered and there's still like 4 or 5 commons in the pool, I would rather it go to the left of the entrance hall. So if we have to take one, it may not be what I end up taking, but that's where I would like that to go. So we'll draft the pantry, and then we will draft the left-hand side next. And we are offered guest bedroom, nook, and storeroom. Our upgraded storeroom, no less. But I don't know if that's what I want here. It is a common. We would expect to see it as well as the closet offered a number of times here. So I feel like the smart pick is the nook, and we keep drafting in that direction, and we see where that leads us. If we have to take the dead end after the nook, it's not great. We would love it. It would be much better if we get like the den offered, ideally pointing in both directions that we want. But I think the nook is the correct play here, and we keep keeping those options open. Let's not. Getting these dead ends so early and close to the entrance hall has come back to bite me before. So I think the nook it is, and then I do keep going, or do I draft the entrance hall at this point? It could save me some steps because I could get an idea of where I would want to actually draft next. Yeah, let's take the nook and draft it and see where that goes. That feeling that you always have of just being a little nervous about how your options are going to play out. There is an extra item here. There is a coupon book. Holy crap. Did we actually get an extra item in the nook last time as well? I haven't gone back to take notes yet on that run. And I often just, yeah, I keep notes of what the extra items are, and it feels like the nook is very uncommon to have any items, but I thought maybe we did have one last time. But this is our first time picking up the coupon book. Save 1 coin on each purchase you make in the estate. Oh, wow. That's awesome. Well, we definitely want to be looking for some shops now, and we definitely want to pick up that storeroom. I still haven't picked up my coins in the pantry. That would have been one reason. That would be one reason to go back now and just get my coins, because what if I do draft a kitchen or a commissary? I can just come back to it because we've got steps. I'm always so like overthinking and worrying about my steps, and you know, it almost came back to bite us in the last run, but we did have just barely enough steps to make it through to the the last legs of our journey. All right, hallway versus den here. I think we might want to take our first gem. It just feels bad, as always, to use a den here. So maybe the correct choice is to take the spare room and keep the options open, and maybe get the den offered in the next layer, the next rank, I should say. But the problem with that move is that what if the den gets rotated to where it's facing to the right and up? Like we're in danger of like completely cutting ourselves off from this west wing. And I don't want to do that if I can help it. And gems are kind of more important at this point because we could actually draft gem rooms. So it feels a little bad, but it's probably the correct move here to take the den. I am going to take the den. I feel like the risk of taking a spare room and then having either a right-facing elbow or a dead end or just 3 options where we're not pointed to the west wing is too restrictive early on here. And I think I want to pick up the gem in the process. Gems. And we do, since we are over here, even though we haven't collected our coins yet, let's go ahead and draft out of the den. There's actually a trunk as well. So there you go. We get a little bit rewarded, especially because we don't have to spend a key. We have a sledgehammer. So let's go. Okay, we got the secret garden key. Okay, I really don't know where to use this. I think maybe just for experimentation. I I had come to the conclusion that it's just a key that you use on a door in the house, and that opens up special draft options like the silver key. However, with our experience with the basement key, the fact that the basement key it does show up no matter which one of these special keys you have, they get offered when you try to draft on a locked door in the house. And it'll just tell you when it doesn't fit. So we had that happen when we tried to draft the dark room, a locked door from the dark room, and the secret garden key didn't fit. And I didn't know for sure if it was because it was the dark room specifically. We have to find out. I have a feeling, though, that it is actually much more like the basement key, in that there is somewhere on the estate. This is a big estate, and there's a lot of unexplored territory. There's an orchard outside next to our tent that has a lock on it that we got to explore at some point. There's a whole bunch more of the underground. We've got a lot of ground to cover, and there's probably a door somewhere where it's a special key that opens one of those types of doors. We'll see, though. We'll probably just give it a shot here and try to open a door at some point that actually tests that theory for us. Well, look at this. Look at this. Rewarded for not picking up our coins. I don't know if I was necessarily thinking about this consciously, but we get to take the chapel here because we haven't picked up our coins yet, and we don't get punished for it. That is so cool. So I think we definitely take the chapel, and then we will draft the dead end down below and hope that it's not a storeroom. Even if it is a storeroom, I will probably take it and I'll pay the tithe. But I think this is a pretty easy chapel here. The commissary, having 2 items already, does make the commissary maybe a little less enticing. So we'll see if that is an option that we do end up drafting. Items from the commissary that I would be interested in today specifically. I haven't thought about that. There's just good all-around items to have. The salt shaker, the compass we know is offered in the commissary. And the compass did get us to the antechamber last time. I don't know if it influenced the fact that we ended up getting offered the Great Hall, which was absolutely insane. The fact that we got to pull off the Foyer Great Hall combo. Holy shit. But the magnifying glass is another one that actually turned out to be... There's a lot of crucial, potentially very crucial info that the magnifying glass can pick up. But for now, I think the chapel is the correct one to give us the most options. And it doesn't. We don't have to pay the tithe. Nah, 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 nah. I don't have to pay the tithe. The chapel is also interesting. We'll check for somebody's left their tithe on the pew. But the chapel is also kind of interesting because we have like all these angels in here. And I think I want to think that the note that we picked up yesterday, or the note that we found in the underground, looked like it had the word gel on it, but I have a feeling that it's the second half of angel that's actually on there. So I want to see the other half of that note because maybe the chapel has something to do with this whole business. Let's draft down and hope to put one of our dead ends here. In fact, not just a dead end, but a walk-in closet, which is awesome because usually the walk-in closet pays for itself. I haven't taken notes on what we got last time, but this feels like a very, very straightforward walk-in closet because we almost certainly, I think, there's a very, very strong chance that we just get at least 1 gem back and maybe more. So walk-in closet is perfect for our situation here. And we do see 2 keys right away. And, sorry, 2 gems, not just 2 gems, but holy shit. There's a key as well. And an electronic key card. Oh my god. Your run just feels so much more, I don't know, my heart can be at ease not having to deal with the anxiety of a keycard door getting in my way. Because now I could, if I wanted to, I could just draft up to rank 4. I'm probably not going to do that. We're probably going to go back and draft the either the pantry or the entrance hall. But that is exciting. We are off to a good start here. We got the coupon book as well. I did forget about the coupon book. So we do want to be thinking about getting shops for sure. Now the only question, so now the next question is, are we drafting from the pantry or the entrance hall? I think we draft from the pantry first, right? The less predictable one, you see where your options are, and then the entrance hall The problem is drafting entrance hall, an elbow at the entrance hall is... I don't want to draft an elbow there because it's going to point to the same place as the pantry, and now we're kind of closing off our options. So I guess we kind of want to live in the world where the pantry gives us... Well, we've used both the den and the chapel, so 2 of our 3 ways are gone. That's the one downside here of our start. So we would be looking for like either the hallway or maybe the spare room at the pantry to get us across to the east wing, and then we would put a dead end maybe at the entrance hall. So what do we want to do first? We've only removed the walk-in closet so far, so it might make more sense to just take a dead end out of the pool by putting it at the entrance hall, and then just rolling the dice with the pantry after the fact, now that you have less dead ends to think about. But you still could have a world where you draft the pantry with an elbow that goes into rank 3, and then the entrance hall could be the spare room or the corridor to get you over to the east wing. I'm not sure if I said the pantry. I might have said a left elbow. An elbow that goes into rank 3 is what I meant to say. I'm not sure if I said that. But either way, I think we will draft the pantry first. So let's go through the den. That was a nice pickup with the trunk. We're getting luckier, much luckier so far on items than we did during our run in day 9. Or am I thinking of day 8? I'm not sure. It did feel like we had a good run. Day 9 was a great run. But it did feel like there were less items than normal, I think was the overall sense that I got. There's our banana. And we will now draft out of the pantry. And we do get offered an observatory. I think that's a pretty straightforward observatory. I do not want to put a dead end here. And this was my one thought, the fact that there are so many dead ends in the pool. We do see that reflected here. So we'll take the observatory. We do spend a gem. But do we want to get our reward? Well, I think we do. I think we take the step into the observatory to get whatever the reward is, and then we go back and draft the entrance hall. Or do we wait? Let's look at our rewards here again. Let me remind myself. Because it could end up that the observatory is our closest way into rank 3. Like, you know, it could be correct to take the closet here. Because we have the chapel to get us into rank 3, if worst comes to worst. And there's a good chance that we would get something like the West Wing Hall to spread out our options immediately. But if we get really unlucky with getting offered just like elbows and dead ends at the entrance hall, then, you know, we're just banking on that one option at the chapel. Okay, so the Southern Cross is interesting. The 5-star reward in the observatory is the Southern Cross, which says rooms with 4 doors are more common today. Do we actually want that? Like, it's not guaranteed that that's an upside, because the passageway, you know, I guess, you know, it's okay, but it costs 2 gems. We're not even going to be able to afford it until we get another gem. You've got the cloister, which is 3 gems. Unless, of course, you get that room that makes green rooms are free. Now, at the same time, there are rooms like the Great Hall, or maybe the Chamber of Mirrors or whatever. The Hall of Mirrors is counted as a 4-door room. There are some very powerful rooms that do count as 4-door rooms. So it probably is a net benefit. It does feel like, in general, the game is set up in a way here where so many things that I overthink about and obsess about whether or not they're a strict upside or downside, which is a consideration to think about in a card game like Magic the Gathering. There are a lot of situations where taking a certain card might look good, but ends up being very anti-synergistic with your deck. So I do stress about these things, but we're in a more controlled environment here in Blueprints. It's a single player roguelike experience where it's designed in a way for you to have fun. I'm going to bet on that assumption. I'm going to just take it for granted that the devs are looking out for us and are not trying to screw us over. And so we don't have to stress about those sorts of things. So I will take the observatory, and then I don't think I will step in yet because I don't want to collect my, I don't want to make 4-door rooms more common just yet. So, and who knows? The observatory may also work the way that we've been speculating, where it gives you multiple. It could give us like the 2 and 3 star reward instead of the 5-star reward. I don't know how it's going to work yet. So we're going to draft it though, because it does give us the other option here into rank 3. So now we have kind of an option in the west and an option in the east, and then we will go back and draft the entrance hall. And we'll be okay with a dead end here. I won't love it. I'd much rather have either. We do have both of our straight throughs still. Spare room and corridor are in the pool, so there's a fair chance that we see those. And we do in fact get offered the spare room. So that, I think, that feels very good, because now that gives us an opportunity here to fill out our ranks completely and cleanly. So let's take that spare room and let's go through, I think, and draft it. I think that would make the most sense. Hopefully, if we're lucky here, we can, one way or the other, we will make our way to the observatory to get that. Wait a second, we already have the 5th star. That's interesting. So they give you the star no matter what, but you don't have to collect the reward. If you're an overthinker like me, who thinks that maybe the devs are out to get you with those stinking 4-way rooms. I do think that's a fair consideration though, because the rooms like passageway the passageway is at common, and seeing that more often and taking away other options from your draft, it could be a downside. That's a 2-gem room that does give you 3 doors to draft out of, but we've seen a lot of situations where you don't get to draft out of all 3 of those doors. Some of them could be locked. Some of them could be up against another room where there's a wall. So you don't know. Oh, shit. Oh, okay. I said, oh, shit, but that's not very good. The servants' quarters is offered here. What the fuck? That is the, okay. So this is only the 2nd time now that the servants' quarters has even been offered. And it's right on the heels of us getting it at the end of day 9, which is funny. Not the choice here. This is a very easy parlor, but it is fascinating to me that the servants' quarters is offered. It really is starting. I'm starting to get the sense that my initial theory of rooms being locked behind particular ranks, that could be just a whole load of bunk, because it might just be rarity, you know? The fact that some rooms are unusual and some rooms are rare just means that you're not going to see them a whole lot. But they could show up as early as rank. Who knows? Maybe there's a rank restriction. Maybe there's not. Maybe there's a room restriction where you have to draft a certain number of rooms first, and then we'll put these other rooms in the pool, start filling it back up with the rooms that you've gotten rid of. But we'll take the parlor here, and we will enter the parlor. There's often an extra item in the parlor to get. Oh boy. We get the coin purse again. Okay. Okay, this is exciting. We now have the coin purse and we have the coupon book. So now shops are fantastic for us. We want shops. We just need to get them now. But things are going to be cheaper and we're going to be making more money, especially when we get that storeroom. Holy crap. The coin purse is interesting. We'll see how this works, but I want to know. I mean, it says each time you collect 3 coins. So I presume when we get that storeroom, that's going to be 3 times that we've collected 3 coins, correct? Or will it count one lump sum and just give us the 1 coin? I'm hoping it's going to give us 3 coins in interest for drafting that storeroom. We'll find out soon enough. Let's play the parlor game. This box is blue. It's a blocks. Blue prints. Blue blocks. This box is blue, which is true. Unintentional rhyme. The gems are in a true box. Okay, we don't know that just yet. Could be true, could be false. This box is black. Aha. So we have 2 trues, and this would have to be the false. So the gems are in the false box. One of these times, I'm going to screw this up, and I'm going to look I'm going to feel very silly, just like that day that I felt very silly for forgetting there was a key card on the security room. By the way, getting the security room would be pretty good for us now, wouldn't it? Because we got a key card, and we actually want as many key card doors as the game can throw at us. Not necessarily, we don't necessarily want that key card room yet, but we'll see. This makes sense as a guest bedroom, doesn't it? Guest bedroom here would be fine. It gets us some steps, recoups some steps, and probably gets us, there's a good chance it gets us an additional item. And then we have 2 ways forward into rank 3. And we would hope to get the drawing room being offered now. We're not making great use out of it. It would make much more sense, I think, to get the drawing room on top of the observatory or out of the chapel. So I think we draft the guest bedroom and then we draft the observatory. Because if we can help it, we don't want to go back through the chapel. Spending a coin wouldn't be the worst thing ever. But it would also be steps that we'd be spending. So let's take the guest bedroom here. There is an item. It's the car keys. We're getting so many freaking items. We don't even have our lucky rabbit's foot. What is going on? This is the luck of the draw. Gotta love how the variable rewards giveth and taketh away. Okay, so feeling better about our steps and so many items. We have an incentive to draft the garage now, which could influence our decision, but we're not yet at rank 4. I want to say the garage is not offered until rank 4. So I think now, because we have 3 gems, we would probably buy the passageway, wouldn't we? A passageway. Now, I've got this, we had the reader tip in the drafting strategy manual or volume 3 that told us that I never draft the passageway before rank 5. It's a simple strategy that has served me well. I still don't understand why that's the case. If you draft the passageway, wouldn't you want it to where there's no locked doors, which means you put it at rank 3, right? I guess, no, even if you put it at rank 3, you could get a locked door going into rank 4. So I don't know why that is the case. For us, we would like those doors in the passageway to be a key card door. We have to remember as well, though, that there are a lot of red rooms that have 4 doors. So when we take that observatory reward, we are giving ourselves a higher chance to get the archives and the weight room offered. Neither one of those are particularly thrilling. The weight room is a rare, but it's going to get boosted, right? The cloister costs 3 gems, and from what I can tell, unless the secret garden key has... No, but we did this, right? Did we not get the secret garden key and the cloister at the same during the same day? And we went back here and there was nothing to do with the key, because this is not the place to use it. So drafting the cloister for 3 gems, ugh. And even if we are adding the Great Hall and giving it a much greater chance of appearing, we don't have the foyer this time. And like, the Great Hall was awesome to get you to the antechamber that first time, but now that we've been down that road, it is less appealing. Like, until we know exactly what we're doing in the underground, getting back to the antechamber, we'll do it if the draft naturally takes us there, but I don't feel the pressure to force the issue. So I'm just wondering if it is ever actually correct to draft at the chapel. It's a new effect. I'm overthinking this probably. So let's go to the observatory and see what we don't even know for sure if we're getting the 5-star reward. So let's just take it and see what happens. Another argument is that if we have to draft at the chapel, we get a more guaranteed options there, like the West Wing Hall, or if our hallway is drafted there, it's going to face the way we want it. So let's take the observatory, which is the more random exit here, to rank 3 and see what happens. Extra items? Looks like no. So let's see what the telescope does give us. Looks like we are going to get that Southern Cross. All right. Rooms with 4 doors are more common today. Another great reason to come to the observatory is the very soothing and relaxing music, which might be my favorite so far. Okay, let's see what we get from rank 3. Look at that. Immediately. Immediately. Am I gonna regret this so hard? Am I absolutely going to regret this like no tomorrow? There's got to be some new rooms that we're going to be offered here that we've never seen before, right? So it's going to make up for itself. There's maybe some like ultra rare rooms, and this is one of the ways that you get to see those rooms that would otherwise very seldomly show up. But man, do I hate spending 2 gems here on a passageway. I don't hate it, because if you're gonna draft the passageway, this is the optimal spot for it, is it not? It doesn't get much better. You're drafting out into the open. The only thing that could maybe be better is if you had the luxury of like drafting the spare room here and then the passageway. And that way you could guarantee like your elbows that come out of the left hand and right hand doors are not gonna dead end you. However, that would mean that your passageway is fully in rank 4 and all those doors could potentially be locked. But we do have a key card, so that's an exciting thing to think about. It's not the Great Hall here. We've had our fun with the Great Hall, but it's not. I don't think it's the Great Hall in this circumstance. The one thing we do know about the Great Hall that can be said about it is that it could act as a corridor. We don't have to spend gems on it. Now, it's not a corridor because it's the opposite of a corridor. Instead of the door always being unlocked at the other end, this one is always locked. But we do know that the door that goes out of the north is actually a door that we can draft. It's the 3 doors to the west or the east that are crapshoot, and you don't know which one of them goes out to the left or right, and that's the problem here. So, I mean, that could be doing that, what I just said, using the Great Hall as a corridor. You have to spend a key, which sucks. But then you would draft the passageway up above it, potentially. I feel like that's a little bit overthinking. That's a 2-card combo that we're looking for. We're betting on the fact that we get the Great Hall, that we take the Great Hall and get the passageway back offered to us. It wouldn't have to be the passageway, right? If we get another room like the drawing room or something that's offered at that level, that would be okay. But it would be pushing us into rank 4. The clean option here does feel like the passageway, but it costs 2 gems. God damn it. Okay, one argument for the cloister. One argument for the cloister is that there's likely to be a dig site. I think there is one dig site in the cloister, and we have a shovel. We do have that shovel. We got so many items. We got so many items. I guess that's a reason if we have so many things like coupon book and coin purse, we just don't have a commissary yet. But theoretically, we could be buying lots of gems. The chance of the dig dig site in the cloister does not feel worth an extra gem, because we didn't see a single gem that we could dig up. If there was a chance to dig up a gem, maybe I would go there. But even then, it's like, why take the chance of getting a gem back? Just save the gem and take the passageway. The point of the cloister, the reason it's there is to synergize with, is it the terrace? Whatever room that gives you the green rooms for free. You don't have to spend gems on them. So we're gonna take the passageway here and grumble. Don't love it, but hopefully we can recoup these gems. I will go ahead and draft, I think, to the right. I want to see what happens to the right, and then we'll go from there. Because we still have the most dead ends in our common pool, right? We just have the guest bedroom that we've drafted, so we still have the closet, the storeroom, and also one other one. There's also the utility closet, but even that, the utility closet's not as important now that we have a key card. But any dead end that we get would be okay here because we still have the 2 options going out of the passageway. So let's check here. That is a nursery. That's also a terrace. Okay, we got to take the terrace now. We've never taken the terrace before. Slam dunk terrace, right? We save a gem. I'd love to get the nursery, but I'm okay on steps right now. We've done the nursery before. We got to see what's in the terrace. And this could be our opportunity now, especially with a shovel, to really lean in to the green rooms. We sort of did that last time with the root cellar, but the root cellar puts those dig sites everywhere, so it's not, you don't have to stress about getting green rooms. So the terrace it is. Boom. That's exciting. And we get to check. Oh, I only just now realized this. The terrace, this is pretty. And it gives us a view out onto the eastern side of the grounds here that we haven't had before. I guess we've had it from windows. And, okay. Not the most breathtaking view in the world, but it is a terrace, and it does make me realize that now, seeing the border here, and the way that this is shaped like this room is probably only offered on the wings. And maybe only on the east wing. I'm gonna have to check my, I can actually check my notes, but I don't know if I have any on the terrace yet. I guess I have 2 results here. Okay, I saw it on day 2 where it was offered on the east wing, and on day 5 where it was offered on the west wing. It is only offered on the wings. Okay, similar to the patio. Does the courtyard have a similar restriction? I think the courtyard can be drafted anywhere. And now we really would love to see the courtyard because it is going to be free. And it's going to give us 2 gems because we got to upgrade it yesterday because we got 2 upgrade discs. Holy shit. But now, cloister, hello, bring it on. I want the cloister now, and I would love to see the cloister right above this passageway. Okay. There is also a gem here. Look at that. So we recouped one of the gems from the passageway. Okay, I'm feeling much better all of a sudden about my choices. I don't know that the passageway helped on this front, but it did give us all these options. We may not have been able to draft onto the east wing, which meant the terrace would not be there. Let's check there's no notes or anything. It doesn't seem like the green rooms really, so far, have not been a massive source of intel. But let's check the flavor text. A terrace balcony overlooking the grounds, providing an ideal spot for appreciating all the verdure and greenery that the estate offers. It is only standard rarity. However, I had not thought of it before, but you have to be on the wing to see it. So it's not going to show up very much, simply from a floor plan restriction standpoint. So now I think we do draft through the passageway into rank 4, rather than going all the way back around to the chapel. We want to get the cloister now. I would love to see the cloister. I mean, even if we have to draft the cloister at rank 3, it would probably be fine. To the left of the passageway, the cloister in that position would be okay as well, because now we don't have to spend gems on it, which is holy shit. Let's go ahead and try to draft through the north of the passageway and see if it's locked. If it's locked, then we can draft into rank 3. It's not locked. Damn it. Damn it, we get offered the weight room. God damn it. Are we going to 18 steps? Are we getting that workout in today, boys? Or are we taking the dark room? We're probably taking the dark room. We could take the closet. Awkward, though, after taking the terrace. I don't think we want to take the closet. The weight room, huh? Man, how important are steps? How important are steps, guys? We don't need steps, do we? We got 18 steps, and theoretically, we're living in a world where we have a kitchen. We don't have a kitchen, but we could have a kitchen, especially if we draft all these doors out of the weight room, which are probably all going to be locked. Shit. We can't take the weight room here, can we? The dark room is also, though, so risky. The dark room is risky. So with the weight room, the effect happens immediately, right? It's not when you step into the place. So that's happening no matter what. What we could do, though, with the dark room is what we've done before, where we sort of draft it and then we leave it for later. We don't have to, like, we could instead draft to the left of the passageway, and we would, or we could just draft to the right of the dark room, take the crapshoot there, and then come back and draft the left of the passage, or we just draft the left of the passageway first, see what we get there, and then draft to the right of the dark room. I mean, who knows? We'll see how things go, but I think we take the dark room here one way or the other, because it does, at the very least, it opens up this potential of using the utility closet to let us explore the dark room. And it keeps our options open while not losing half of our steps. Even if we do have to shoot from the hip and use our, we use our skills, guys. Remember, Red Room synergized with skilled players. This is 100% skill here only on this channel and no luck involved at all when you are drafting in the dark room. So we'll see. we will see, except it's a dark room. You can't see. So let's take the dark room, and then let's go draft here at the passageway. The other door out of the passageway, which should be guaranteed unlocked. And we do get offered the cloister. We do also get offered the laboratory, but the laboratory don't go anywhere. So we probably take the cloister here. And it's free! This is crazy. There's a dig site here as well. This is probably an easy cloister, correct? That lets us draft into the one of the rooms that we would otherwise have to draft through the dark room, which is fantastic. So, and we don't have to impose the restriction of the archives. Now, the archives, I gotta say, I'm tempted to draft the archives again at some point here. We're probably going to draft it today because of this Southern Cross. I almost said North Star. That was the day one reward, wasn't it? Or the first star reward. Anyway, Cat Laser Brain. I do want to check the archives again, because as we noted last time with the aquarium, I think, gave us some sort of a hint with an arrow. Once you drain the aquarium, there's an arrow pointing to a set of cabinets in the archives, I think. So I want to maybe poke around the archives a little bit more thoroughly, just like the dark room. We've got some red rooms that we want to explore more thoroughly, but I don't want to take the archives here if I can get a cloister for free. Holy moly. And then I think there's actually 2 dig sites. Are you kidding me? But can I reach them? Wait, what the fuck? I can't reach them? Okay, so what the hell is going on here? What the hell is actually going on here? We have a secret garden key. The cloister says it is a covered walk and colonnade surrounding an enclosed and seemingly inaccessible garden. A solitary angelic statue in the center of the grassy patch provides the secluded court a hallowed atmosphere. There's another angelic statue. It's we saw this before. I noticed the fact that this is, I think, the same angel from the number 7 stained glass window in the chapel. We can't dig here. Except why would they give us dig sites if we can't dig them? There must be some way. It says seemingly inaccessible garden. There must be something here that I'm missing. Especially if I have a secret garden key. Is this not the place to use this? What am I missing? Like, is there a keyhole somewhere that I'm just not seeing or haven't seen yet on one of these columns? Pixel hunting time, maybe. Because I want to dig at the very least, but I also want to figure out if there's a secret in this garden to be found. What the fuck? It doesn't really strike me as a garden, so that's one of the things that's throwing me off here. But the description does say it's a seemingly inaccessible garden. I just don't see how you would actually access it. This feels like one of these things that we need more information for. We just don't quite yet have what we need. Is there something about the statue that I'm supposed to notice? Trying to get my brain, my sense-making apparatus tuned into the correct frequency. Is she pointing at something? Is she like pointing up at the roof? I don't see a keyhole anywhere other than what's on the doors. So I don't know. I do not understand. And I want my dig sites. God damn it. Okay. Perhaps the answers will present themselves eventually. What do we do for now? We keep drafting on rank 3, don't we? We have plenty of steps still because we did not take the weight room. So we could keep drafting on rank 3. 4-door rooms are more likely to be... The 4-door... Maybe we do what we did with the passageway. We try to draft up from the cloister and see if it's locked. Maybe that's the first move here. Just see whether this is locked or not. I think we do that. Let's do that. It's not locked. What the hell? Shit. There's a new room. There's a new room we've never seen before, but it costs 3 gems. We can't afford it. Feels bad, man. The Rotunda can rotate. Oh. For a second, I thought this was like a joke text. I was like, can rotate. What the fuck is that? And then I thought about it and I realized, whoa, wait a minute. This room can rotate. Presumably any direction? So you're drafting an elbow that can be rotated. So the 2 doors can face in any, well, any 2 directions is a stretch, but it can rotate into any of 4 orientations. Well, we can't draft it though. So what I can draft is a coat check, which is fine. It's not amazing, but it's fine. It closes off, sort of closes off our options a bit. We would be relying on, to get to the rest of the east wing, most efficiently would be through the dark room, but we could make our way around through rank 5 or above. So it's not the worst here. And it does get us a lucky rabbit's foot, which plays into our theme of collecting as many items as possible today. The lucky rabbit's foot also, I think, gets us extra gems and keys and stuff. So I think we take the lucky rabbit's foot, and then our coat check is here in the middle of the estate for us to drop it off at the end of the day. Because, yeah, the other options, the weight room, I still don't want to do that. We knew this was part of the deal, right? Like with any, there's going to be downsides in any potential draft. I so want to try this Rotunda at some point. But I need gems. We need gems. That's why we get a lucky rabbit's foot, so we can get more gems. I just need to make sure that we have enough steps to get back here to drop it off, because I feel like so far the lucky rabbit's foot is like the most important item. I really, really enjoyed having this when we had it previously. So lucky rabbit foot time, engage. We would love to have a workshop now, wouldn't we? Let's see if we can get a workshop somewhere. Let's draft to the right of the cloister, though. See what this next room offers us. God damn it. God damn it. Oh, shit. This is... Well, all of a sudden, this is taking an interesting turn here. Interesting. We did say we wanted more items, so we could take a closet. We could also take a great hall. 7 locked doors, you say? Right here. We would get 1 door that would be guaranteed to go to that room on the far side, which we already have the ability to draft into from the chapel. So this could be... man, taking a dead end here is such a big risk. It is such a big risk, and I don't know that I want to take it. I don't know, but I don't know that the Great Hall is a great... It's not so great in this spot, because in order to get into rank 4 from the Great Hall, you got to know which door to go through, and we only got 3 keys. We could use all 3 of those keys, potentially, to open the door into rank 4. That could be the way, but that feels like such an inefficient use of your keys. You could get lucky, but you've got to use a key on the door in the Great Hall, I think, and then you might have to use a key to draft through into rank 4. You might not even have enough keys once you open up all the 3 doors. If you did the worst case scenario where every door had to be opened, you might need a 4th key just to get into rank 4. God, these are terrible. I hate this. I hate this game. The argument for the nursery here would be that even though it's a dead end and it really fucks with your plans, you're going to be maybe having to bounce around between the chapel and the dark room here, and getting those extra steps from bedrooms that you're going to be drafting, even though we have already drafted the guest bedroom. So that's unfortunate. We would likely get our gem recouped. The nursery often has a gem, I think. Both times we've drafted it, it has contained a gem. The other option would be the closet, which does give us rerolls, potentially. There's a very high chance that there's a die. It's not guaranteed, but having rerolls all of a sudden could be very, very important. Maybe I should have drafted the dark room. I probably should have drafted the dark room to the right to see what I get. That was probably the correct choice, because then I would have a better idea here if I need to take the risk with the Great Hall. But even that, the Great Hall just is not... This sucks. I'm going to take the closet here because of the chance of getting the die. I think the die might be our way out. That could be our way. Because we're really going to... The thing is, using the rerolls on the dark room is pretty terrible. We would just be using it potentially in the chapel to make sure that we get something that gets us into rank 4. It would also take a dead end out of the pool. So when we do draft the dark room, we have less of a chance of getting a dead end there. I just don't think we're so up against the wall if we take any of these. No puns intended with walls and floor plans and whatnot. But I think the one that might help us thread the needle here the most is the closet, if we get a die. So let's take the closet. There is a die. Okay. A die and a gem is good, because it gives us the most possible options. Now we go to... Now I think we do draft the dark room. And we think through... we think through our options from there. Well, it'll tell us what we need. Like, we're hoping that the dark room gives us a room that leads into rank 5. That would be nice. It may not happen, but we need to see. I'm so confused why we can't... Why can I not dig here, man? I want to make use of my shovel. My shovel, once again, is not doing what I... It's not giving me the benefits that I was promised. All right, darkroom time. Darkroom time. It's probably a locked door, watch. It's locked, of course. And we can't use the secret garden key here because it doesn't fit. Wait a minute! Oh my god. I had to check to make sure I'm recording. Oh my god. Secret garden. Secret garden. What the fuck? It's something that goes on the wings. It goes on the wings. Maybe just the east wing, in fact. Holy fuck. This is insane, dude. This game is so fucking good. This game is the best. What the actual hell? What? It would also happen through the dark room. That's what's the craziest thing about this, is that we tried to do this in the dark room before, but because the dark room was positioned inside the estate, it didn't fit. And I just had not considered the possibility that just like the terrace, just like the patio, the secret garden might just be something that goes on the wings. Rare. Holy shit. A floor plan so secretive, it had been removed from the drafting pool to avoid anyone unwanted accidentally stumbling upon it. This secluded garden, flanked by a variety of morajai fruit trees, has served as a private retreat to at least 2 other generations of Sinclairs. It spreads fruit throughout the house. That's very cool. So we can explore it freely, basically, because we're getting a bunch of steps back. Sweet. Love to have a salt shaker right now. Can we dig up a salt shaker? There are dig sites. And there's an apple. And of course, our first dig site is an old shoe. What the fuck? The other thing that I noticed, I did notice it as I was staring across the garden here, is I saw there's a rogue moon over here. We found the secret garden, folks. We found the secret garden. And there's also a swan. I think the swan is supposed to symbolize Lady Epson, isn't it? I think that's my read on things. Is there anything to do with this fountain at all? Maybe. You never know. Who knows? At some point we might find a switch somewhere, or some key, or something that moves this fountain, and all of a sudden there's a tunnel underneath. There's the rogue moon, which we cannot interact with in any way. The secret garden has been found. This is nuts, guys. I'll be very... Oh, there is a wheel here. Holy shit. Okay, almost overlooked this. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Okay, hold on here. Hold on here. I think... Except, wait a minute. There's only one lever here. Let me try this again. Okay. Notes. Checking the notes because I think I know what's going on here. I think I know. I think I know. Boy, we gathered so much information last time. Day 9 was just so clutch. What a great run. We made it into the clock tower. And the clock tower had a clue. It said, southward, I see a swan, ashen like sands of the shore, carried by westerly winds, rogue like the moon of the north, eastward, I see a crow, dark are the days coming forth. That may be a clue related to this. I'm not so sure as I reread that because there are parts of that that I don't quite understand, but we are turning one of these arrows. Now there are 3 arrows. The little limerick or whatever ends with dark are the days coming forth, as spelled as the number 4. So the fact that there are only 3 arrows here, I had initially thought, oh, we've got 4 different arrows and we need to figure out which ways to point them based on the note that we found in the clock tower. Southward, I see a swan. There's a swan right here. But southward, I see a swan. And then it does mention the rogue moon as well, right? Like the moon of the north. I'm tabbing. I'm all tabbing here, and I'm pressing tab apparently at the same time, which is causing me to go to my blueprint. Now I'm not so sure because we're on the east wing, are we not? So why is... If I'm facing west right now, why does the compass or why does this direction here say east? Am I able to turn that? Like what I'm thinking is there are probably, this wheel is here and it does control this arrow. But there are probably wheels other places that control the other arrows and maybe even control the compass directions. Because right now, the compass directions are not pointing the way that they should be, right? So, the other thing that's confusing is that the rogue moon here in the garden is to the east, not to the north, as mentioned in that clock tower note. So they may or may... Oh, wait a minute, there's another... Dude, I'm so blind. What is wrong with me, man? Why do I do this? It's tunnel vision, that's why. I get tunnel visioned. I am just forever cursed with tunnel vision. As much as I do have cat laser brain, it's not enough. It's a tunnel vision cat laser brain. And so it's like I have inverse cat laser brain sometimes where I don't see the thing that I'm supposed to notice. There's another freaking thing to turn here. Okay, we have another arrow. There's another arrow. Are there any other levers? Let's look around the garden and maybe there are other things here that I'm overlooking altogether. Maybe we should dig up. There were a couple dig sites, so maybe let's just make sure there's no special tools or anything to find in these. Once again, it feels like it's more often than not that the dig sites are just busts. Okay, we found a coin. We're up to 5 coins here. We really need a shop to take advantage of those coins. But those are our dig sites. And so we have 2 levers then, or 2 wheels. 2 cranks. One controls the big arrow at the bottom. The other controls the middle one, but we don't seem to be able to turn the top one. So are we able to solve this now? If the top arrow points at... If the top arrow points to the rogue moon, and the swan is actually a bit off-center, isn't it? If it's not really... The swan is a bit off-kilter. I don't know if that's important. Yeah, I'm not sure where we're supposed to point these arrows. Because that clock tower note may be completely unrelated. The clock tower note had a symbol on it. A symbol that was similar to the big symbol that we saw in the underground mine. That was connected to what I think is pretty clearly a clock puzzle. There's the note about the sacred hour in the flavor text of the clock tower, which is 1:30, I think. And I think in the underground mine, that's what we're going to be doing. Eventually, there's like a bunch of platforms that we're going to have to line up as 1:30. But I don't... That's probably not connected to this. So I don't know what to do here. What would be something simple we could try? Just point... Like, obviously you could try to brute force something here because they're with 2 arrows and 4 directions. There's only, 8 possible combinations. But I don't like brute forcing. I don't want to brute force this. We could just point... Let's point the big arrow down. Not down, but to the east. And then we would have, like, the swan and the 3 arrows would all be pointing, like, different directions, kind of. The swan is off kilter, though, so I don't know. Okay, this one, I want to give it some thought. Because I think we also just might need more information. This is maybe a thing where you don't know what you need to know yet. So, we bank that away. We take a screenshot. A good screenshot somewhere where I can kind of see this thing. And then the 2 levers that control 2 of the arrows, but not all 3. So where's the third? Where's the third crank? In this wall? Is this sus wall? Roll! Hit the sus wall. Okay. I think we're ready to keep going here then. That is just... This game is amazing. The discoveries that you make while playing Blueprints. So we've spread fruit throughout the house, which gives us a lot of incentive, I think, to go back and explore for that fruit, and then draft out of the chapel. We could draft the secret garden first, or try to draft the secret garden first. It probably makes sense just to draft here and see what room you get. We'll eat our apple. And then work our way back around to the chapel and draft from there, correct? Because that would, it at least gives us an idea. If we have options open to us at this end, then we could make our way back here if we need to. So let's at least see if we can draft it, which we can. And we get the greenhouse. Yo, this is just a green draft, isn't it? And we want to get the greenhouse. The only problem with the greenhouse is it is really restricting our draft. We do have a die, but we are really up against the wall if we don't get lucky with the chapel. The consistent pick, or the pick that makes the most sense from a keeping your options open standpoint, is clearly the East Wing Hall. But The one that says, take the room that you don't see very often, says take the greenhouse. Oh, I hate these choices. I hate these choices because every instinct in me, all the years of playing Hearthstone and Magic and these card games, even poker, where you're supposed to make the call, you're supposed to make the decision that pays off over the long run. You're not supposed to take the Hail Marys. You're supposed to take the consistent one that always gives you the best odds. And so every fiber of my being says, take the East Wing Hall. But it's one of those days where maybe we're just supposed to go green and trust that the die, between the die and the RNG gods, we're not going to get completely screwed at the chapel. It does kind of suck that green rooms being more likely to draft means that, well, it doesn't suck that the patio would be offered. We would love to get the patio. The patio would be great, but we wouldn't want to get the patio at the chapel because that dead ends us. The way that the patio would be oriented would not be where we want it. The thing about the greenhouse, though, is that I think we know that there is supposed to be an antechamber lever in here, except it's broken. So the fact that it's likely connected to the antechamber in that way alone makes it worth investigating. As I'm looking at the thumbnail as well, the greenhouse does look like it is probably just like the secret garden and the terrace and the patio. These green rooms, so many of them, you have to draft on the wings, and that's why we haven't been seeing them. I would love to live in the world where I take like the East Wing Hall and then get offered the greenhouse above it. That's what I want to happen. But that's, you know, we don't know how likely the greenhouse is. I'm going to go against my instinct here, which is to take the East Wing Hall. And I'm going to take the pick that says, explore where you haven't been yet. And if that means that your run gets cut short, it's fine. There's always, tomorrow is another day. So take the new room. And who knows, this might actually be the correct choice because getting an entire green room draft could be supremely powerful. But we are down to one last option. It's a big risk here, right? But if that ends our draft early, so be it. We get to draft again tomorrow. Let's check the greenhouse. Let's check it out. New room. It is a greenhouse. It's a very greenhouse atmosphere, just as we would expect. Lots of... Well, I wasn't necessarily expecting sunflowers. There's sunflowers, and then there is a gem flower? Okay. Is that a guaranteed pickup? Are you always going to get a gem flower in the greenhouse? Fascinating. Wait, there's another one! Another one! 2 gems for drafting the greenhouse. That wasn't in the advertising. Let's check the flavor text. This room is always warm as its glass walls and roof help to retain the sun's rays. The gardener should be pleased that the long-neglected flower beds have finally been blessed with the glistening gift from the sprinklers installed above. It is only standard. Yo, these green rooms, man, they're tricky because so many of them, the cloister, I guess, is unusual, but the courtyard, the patio, the greenhouse, the terrace, not the secret garden. But most of these are standard. The standard rarity of these has thrown me off just because it's misleading. The fine print is standard, but you have to draft them on a wing. So. This is part of the learning process. This is part of the learning process. Have we drafted any other new rooms today so far besides... It's just been the green rooms, hasn't it? We've been offered a couple new rooms, like the Rotunda. Well, now it's time for us to check for our spread fruit. So let's start exploring back through... I don't know if I'm going to go all the way to the guest bedroom, per se. Would that be worth it? Because the fruit, each piece of fruit, if you get oranges, it might be worth. But I don't know how many rooms are going to have fruit here. So let's start exploring and see. Well, hold on. We're not done in the... What am I doing? I'm jumping the gun. We're not done in the greenhouse. Hold the phone. We got some digging to do at the very least. We got some nothing to dig up. Oh, wait, that's a coin? These dirty coins, man. Dirty, dirty dog coins and a turnip. All right. Okay, there's some steps. Now, where is this broken lever? That's what I want. Ah, there it is. There it is. So this opens the bottom door of the antechamber. Presuming, would you just use the broken lever here? Like, I'm thinking to myself, don't you need like some glue? Don't you need like some duct tape or something to affix the broken lever? You can't just like broken lever. Ah, now it works. There's a reason it's broken, isn't it? Oh, there's a watering can. Oh my God. The first time you enter each green room, use a water drop to gain 1 gem. Limited capacity, 3 drops. What the fuck? That's what a watering can is. We can get up to 3 gems. Will this count? Because we've already gone through all the green rooms that we've drafted so far. We've gone through them. So we'll have to see if it counts in the secret garden. But that's pretty awesome. Dude, you get so many gems from drafting the greenhouse. Holy shit. Potentially. You've got to get the synergy, but now they're more likely. I'm just worried about our options, that's all. Just worried that the draft might come to a premature end. Another musical sheet here. Trees found inside will never shade. The gems that shine in night and rain. The clue you hold cannot be paid with gems nor coin, so toss away. These sheets you find a worthy trade. Sheets in bold. We got to get all of these different verses put together, and then maybe things will make full sense. Okay, we've done our digging. We've collected our gems. We've got a watering can. We do in fact confirmed that there is a broken antechamber lever here. Now I think, let me just give one more look around and make sure that inverse cat laser brain hasn't missed any relevant details here. Man, some of the windows, they are definitely in. This whole greenhouse is kind of falling apart, actually, to be honest. You got the ramshackle roofing here. It needs some TLC, to say the least. But hey, good to know we can find gems here. But I think we are ready to move onward. We can. Okay, I figured it would be that we would use the watering can. We would use the watering can the first time that we go into the room with the watering can. Now, it's interesting that they give you this choice. And potentially you can choose not just to water in the room, but you could choose where to water in the room. So does that mean you would want to like water like one of these plants specifically to make something grow? Or is it just one of these that you just use it and you get a gem and that's all it is? But then why would they give you a choice? Why would it not just be an automatic benefit? If they're giving you a choice, that seems to me like you have some control over where you water. And so you would want to water like in a flower bed or something where it might have an effect. Let's find out. So we got a gem. Did we just get 3 gems? Did I just use my whole watering can? What happened there? I pressed E, and then I was expecting like the water to go into the flower bed, but I feel like I have 6 gems now. Did I just get all 3 of them? Hello? What the heck? Okay, I don't know if I did that right. I don't know if I did that correctly. I did. I had 5 gems, didn't I? Because we picked up a whole bunch of gems in the greenhouse. So I had 5. I'm not tracking my gems very well. So I'm not exactly sure the total that I had. And so I kind of flipped out for a second that I went from 3 to 6 gems, but I think I forgot about the 2 flower gems. So, okay. So we're heading back here. We should have plenty of steps to be able to, it might even be worth, well, it's worth going into the terrace, if nothing else, too. We do get a banana here that's been spread, and we get to use the watering can again. And it's probably not one of these things where you're actually watering a plant. It's just, for whatever reason, they're just giving you the choice. I see now. Okay, the watering can. I didn't see the icon of the watering can that appears next to your gems. Okay, it's an interesting, why do they give you the choice? Why not? They want to give you a little bit of a sense of being in control, I guess. So we're back in the cloister, and they do give us an apple. I'm just so confused why I can't dig here. Like, I feel like I'm missing something so obvious. But I don't understand why I can't dig in this place. I'll use my watering can because I don't see why not. So we're up. We have so many gems. We have so many gems now after I've been offered the Rotunda. How do I dig here, guys? Don't tell me. But what the fuck? Are there any gems in the closet? Not gems, but fruit. I don't suppose they would have put fruit up in here. Would it even make sense to go grab the fruit? Because you'd be kind of like... If it was an orange, it would be worth. I don't understand what's going on here. There's something we got to do. There's some other... There's like one of the other green rooms that's going to have some special switch or something that's going to move the cloister in a certain way. Something like that, right? Okay, there's only one way to go, I think. So back through the observatory. Fruit. Aha! Is this a green apple? +2. That's our first green apple, I think. Never seen a green apple before. Okay. Does the entrance hall ever get anything other than the 2 trunks that we get from the observatory? Is it worth to go back to the spare room or parlor? If we know there's an orange to get, then it would be. I think I'm just going to go... We're just going to go through the nook for now. Because I think it's probably a net loss to try to hunt for fruit in those other rooms. But this is a nice little perk here. Okay. So now we have our die. It is do or die time, folks. Haha. Haha, he says. Fruit in the walk-in closet? There is. Look at that. There's a banana over here. +1 step. Cool. So the closets can have fruit as well, but we pay a tithe. I didn't think about that. That might not have been worth to pay the extra coin. Shit. Okay. Slight misplay there. Okay, this is it. The moment of truth. Let's go. Aha. Oh my god. Bro. Is that not the perfect roll or what? These green rooms are all on the wings, aren't they? This has been the problem. I have not been drafting wings. Well, this is slam dunk veranda. No need to even think about it. Bedroom and bunk room don't do shit for us. And it's all about, it's green. This is the go green draft. What the fuck? And another new room as well. This is crazy, dude. This is insane. Veranda. This relaxing breezeway serves as an ideal spot for rocking chairs and lemonade. It is unusual. So this is one of those that probably is getting boosted by the greenhouse, but it's crazy. Oh, okay. I misread the veranda at first. Whoops. Okay. I thought the veranda was giving the same effect as the greenhouse. The veranda says greater chance of finding items in green rooms. This is not amazing right now because we don't have many green rooms left to draft. There is the aquarium. The aquarium's still out there. It's, I guess, no, wait, what am I thinking? The patio and the courtyard are still out there, and this guy is still out there. Whatever this thing is. Have we been offered this other room? I don't remember. Do I have it in my notes listed? I don't have another green room that I've noted in my Google Docs. So yeah, I thought it said that there's a greater chance of finding green rooms. There's an important word here in between those. Items in green rooms, and we do see here a gem. Cool. Does that also boost the chance of digging up items? There's another coin. We can get back the one we lost in the by paying the tithe. There's a trunk as well. Yo, dude, we have items. Oh my god, we have so many items. We just need to not run out of doors. This is now the oh my god. We just dug up a broken lever. Bro. Holy shit. That's a broken lever. Oh my god. Shit. let's draft the veranda and see what we get. And then we can make a decision as to whether we go back to the greenhouse and try to use the lever there. That's a lot of steps to go back now, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 just to get to the greenhouse from here. We would be spending 20 steps to go round trip. That's not a light decision. That is not, without having a kitchen or other ways to recoup our steps just yet, guaranteed. That's a tough one. We ate a lot of fruit and we're still, we got some issues in the steps department, I think. But we do have a greater chance of finding items in green rooms. We have a greater chance of drafting green rooms. Perhaps we will even draft the courtyard here. The courtyard would be perfect. The courtyard would be perfect. Or, hear me out, the West Wing Hall would be perfect because we're more likely, the courtyard can show up anywhere. The West Wing Hall can only show up here. That's the argument, right? Done. I think that's the reason. And we know at this point, there has to be like an amazing chance. There's like no way we don't see the courtyard offered again, given that we have a greenhouse. I do think it's a pretty easy West Wing Hall here, especially when we have 9 gems. I don't remember how many gems we ended up getting last. Like day 9 was such a successful draft, but I was not consistently tracking how many gems we had. Maybe we got up to 9 gems at some point, but I feel like this is the most we've had. Like which is so crazy because it wasn't that long ago that we were drafting the passageway, and I was like, oh my god, we're spending 2 gems on this thing, and then we couldn't draft the rotunda, and all of a sudden, dude, when you draft green rooms, oh my god. So that's a reason. That is a reason, as I think toward future drafts, to hug the walls, stay in the wings as much as you can to try to get offered these green rooms. Now, as to what we do after the West Wing Hall, I don't think we're going to go back to the greenhouse. If this were day 8 or day 9 even, and our draft had gone a different way, and we had not yet made it to the antechamber, I might really be considering it and trying to get lucky with recouping my steps. But it's like 20 steps to get back to the greenhouse, and we've already been in the antechamber. So I'm not as anxious to get back inside there, although I am curious. I do want to see if there is something different that happens when we enter from the bottom door. And I also want to find out what room has a lever that opens the left-hand door. Maybe we know already. Was there a note already that told us about where the other lever was? I don't remember right now. But the point is, if I'm going to go back for anything, it's to put my lucky rabbit's foot back in the coat check or maybe some other item. The coat check there in the middle, that would be one of our last orders of business before closing out the day. So the West Wing Hall here keeps our draft going, most importantly, and it's the more situational card. I almost said card. The more situational floor plan, which can only go here on the West Wing. And so we use it and we keep drafting. Let's go ahead and draft. See if we can draft to the rest of rank 4 here. We'll see if this door is locked. No extra items, even with our lucky rabbit's foot. But let's see about this door. It does open. It feels like we've been running into a lot less locked doors. We might be getting lucky. I'm not sure. But I guess we'll take the commissary here because we have so many gems to spend. And even if we have a few coins as well, and that could get us gems, and having more gems is never a bad thing. And yet thankfully the commissary is pointed the right way. So what do you know? We actually get 2 rooms to draft as well, potentially. Not potentially. I say that word too much. We do have 2 additional doors to draft. We would have the same thing with the archives, but why would you put the archives here when you can just take the commissary? So this is a pretty easy, no reason to use a die in this position. So commissary it is, and let's go ahead and see what's for sale. Let's see what they got. Let's see what they got. Just see if there's any items laying around or anything like that. But oh my god. Oh my god. There's an upgrade disc here. And it is expansive. Costs 15 coins. We finally do see keys offered as well. There is 1 key available for 10 coins. I don't know if that's a replenishable thing. Probably not. Usually the only item that has been replenishable has been this first one, the single gem option. We need coins. We need coins to buy some stuff. I would love to get this upgrade disc. Now, we don't have a terminal. There's no terminal actually yet in our floor plans, correct? So we need the security room or the laboratory or the office. So that's good to know, but man, do we need some coins, which is why we need the office. The office would get us coins. The vault, we only got offered the vault the one time, which we were not in a position to buy it. Now we are. Give me that vault, baby. That would be, well, I don't know if it'd be perfect right now because it is a dead end, I think. So I want the vault, maybe just not yet. So now what do we draft is the next question. I think we just draft this room here and see what happens. We're hoping we don't get an elbow that points to the left or a hallway that points to the left. That would be the ideal, but I don't think us drafting the West Wing Hall first doesn't change what's going to come out of the commissary. So we might as well draft that while we're here. And who knows, maybe it's locked and we make a decision there as to whether we want to open it. So let's see what this door does. Okay. Alrighty. So the optimal, I think the choice here is between the gymnasium and the courtyard. I think I'm going to take the gymnasium because I don't want this. I mean, I want the courtyard. And maybe the courtyard is the smart pick. Maybe I'm thinking too much about this particular thing. But I hate it when I have two doors going into the same room. The same place in my floor plan. I want my doors to be pointed elsewhere. And the gymnasium, it is the steps inefficient thing to do. But we don't have to step in the gymnasium just yet. But it also points us away from the West Wing Hall. And we might need those doors because who knows? We might draft the West Wing Hall and it could be a garage. If we get a garage there, that would be perfect. Well, not perfect necessarily, but it would be a good option that we would want to take because we have car keys and we have gems to spend and we would get a lot more keys. So having the gym that opens up in the two directions above would be perfect to go with the garage. At the same time, there's a good chance that we get offered the patio. But I think the patio is essentially, the patio would behave the same way even if we drafted the courtyard. The only thing that we would be getting if we drafted the courtyard and then the patio is like, we would like save ourselves, I don't know, 2 steps, 3 steps, which may not be nothing, but I don't think it's enough of a consideration for me to want to say, let's give ourselves more options here. It's just, we need to be very careful about getting back to the coat check if I do want to hold on to my rabbit's foot. I keep forgetting we have this coupon book as well. It doesn't, let me check my screenshots. I think I don't remember exactly what does the coupon book. I totally forgot we have this. I got to remind myself what it does, but it gives us a discount, right? Maybe I didn't take a screenshot. I guess I didn't. So, man, we just need to get our hands on some coins and other things. We have lots of ways to do that. Shovel, sledgehammer, lucky rabbit's foot. And so then having a gym, theoretically, I mean, we might even get some running shoes going in the gym. I think I want to draft the gym here. Because there's like, we've already seen the courtyard twice. We're going to get the courtyard offered again. And I would like it to be in a better situation. This could be wrong, but I'm going to take the gym here. I think for all those reasons, it is correct. And now we do draft the West Wing Hall. And I think the one I would love to see would be a garage. And if we're going to take the garage, that means we're probably going to take any dead end that we like. A dead end here is perfectly fine. It is locked, but I think we'll use the key here. Because theoretically, we can buy more. At least one more. And we have 5 of them. Let's use it. Because it potentially gets us a garage, and that is a garage. Boom, rewarded. The other potential here could be the corridor. That's an interesting one. So the corridor could get us, it could get us another garage. But then why not just take the garage now? We said we wanted the garage, right? Why don't we take the garage, we recoup our key, we get the guaranteed use of the car keys. It's got to be the garage here, right? This is why we do this. This was our game plan. Let's go with the flow. Rewarded. We set ourselves up, and we did get rewarded in this case. Get our keys. Look around for any potential details, because my inverse cat laser focus brain Tends to miss some things, and I'm always a little bit in doubt. Going back to a room that I've been to several times, but hey, maybe I've been overlooking something the entire time. Like the bleach that we could use to, I don't know, cover our tracks. Why would we cover our tracks with bleach? I have no idea. But there's got to be something. Like we could bleach away this oil stain, maybe. And, okay, so yeah, so it looks like, and I don't think there's ever anything different in the driver's seat. Although, who knows, maybe eventually we'll be able to drive this thing out of here. But let's check the car trunk. We once again get a battery. I think this is, I don't remember what we've gotten before in the trunk, but we also get a silver key. Okay, the silver key is not the most thrilling, admittedly, on a day when you have, what effect did we get? We have the Southern Cross, do we not? So we're already more likely to get four-way doors offered to us, four-way rooms. However, it is a key. That's the important thing here. So even though it's not counted under our 7 keys, it's actually an 8th key, because I think we can use that on any locked door. And so that is still a very powerful item, just for the fact that it opens up a door that otherwise would be closed to you. And we have a key card. Are we going to be able to draft all 45 rooms here, assuming we don't run out of steps or doors to draft? Could we do that? Holy shit. Dude, we could even open every single room in the Great Hall now. What the fuck? If we wanted to do that. I don't think that's smart, but we could if we wanted. Okay, so now I think I do draft out of the top of the gymnasium, because this is where I would want to put the courtyard, right? I feel like the courtyard, out of all, we've already seen it twice. There's such a big chance that the courtyard would get offered again at that place, at that door on the gymnasium. I'm just thinking about, I wanted to look at my draft pool of green rooms, just to remind myself here. The patio we're not going to see away from one of the wings, and we've drafted basically every other green room. That's crazy. Oh my god, this is a fun. This game is amazing. I didn't think we were going to be able to. We're not going to be able to live up to the same level of excitement that we had from day 9. I don't know how long it's going to take us to get to that level of excitement again, because day 9 was just insane. But it is. There's no doubt that this draft has definitely been much better than I was expecting more of a letdown. So this draft has been great. Let's draft to the north of the gym. I do need to start being very conscious about making sure that we can get back to the coat check. That might be a tough thing to do, because we do have a gym that we're going to have to go through, and we really, really, really would like to get a kitchen offered, or a dining room. We need to make sure we're getting some steps at some point here. So what do we take? We have archives, security, and secret passage. We're pretty healthy on gems. We don't mind spending gems at all. The secret passage. The secret passage. Could this offer duplicates? I want to say that the secret passage is going to have duplicates. So if we took the secret passage and then we said, give us a green room, I think we could get duplicates. I think we could get the cloister again. Would I want the cloister again? It's free, right? I'd love to have the cloister again. And with all these keys, we're not going to have any of our doors that are blocked going into ranks 8 and above. That feels pretty awesome. At the same time, maybe what I need to do is take the secret passage and then take a shop, because I need to make sure I get a kitchen. I'm still only at 6 coins. We still have yet to get coins, which is a bit of an issue. Our storeroom is still sitting in the pool. I haven't drafted that. I've had a couple opportunities, and now the pool's starting to get kind of crowded. Oh, and oh my gosh, we may never see the storeroom, because of the fact we've got this buff to 4-way rooms and green rooms. There's a good chance we never fucking see that storeroom. The security room here does guarantee that I would have a terminal, which is only if we're only wanting the terminal if we're getting an upgrade disc. The upgrade disc costs 15 coins, so until I get 15 coins, I'm not even I'm not even in the market for an upgrade disc. I think I do want to take the secret passage, and then what we can do is we can draft the other side of the gymnasium before we make the choice with the secret passage. Because if we draft, there could be a room that gives us a lot more options going through that side. We have, you know, like we could get it like a dining room that points, or any like the courtyard could point us in the directions that we want to go, and we end up wanting to go through the courtyard. Then the secret passage could just be there. I don't know. We could leave our options open. Is the point to give us either a green room or a shop from the secret passage, depending on what we get out of the gymnasium. Let's take the secret passage, and let's do that. Don't have to make the choice yet, and we don't have to spend steps from leaving the gymnasium just yet. Let's draft to the right. Okay. Okay. Don't love any of these. I don't love any of these. The drawing room. This is a bad one. I don't like this. Don't want to take the weight room. I'm really conscious. I'm starting to get very conscious of steps and making it back to the coat check through a gymnasium. The bedroom could get us a sleep mask, so that is one potential reason. Start recouping some of those steps. But we don't have any other bedroom synergy at the moment, and this would just be a dead end that we're getting so little use out of. I almost feel like this is a redraw, but I don't want to spend a die here either. That feels bad. And the thing about the bedroom is it's not even like a freebie here, because stepping inside the bedroom, yes, it gives you +2 steps, but then you step back into the gymnasium and you lose 2 more steps. So I think it does cost you. Gosh, this feels bad. Be great if we could get a utility closet and turn off the lights in the gym. Reroll for the utility closet, which is an uncommon. Yeah, that's a smart idea. Think we should take the drawing room, and that at least gives us a door that, like, if we're desperate, man, it does spend a gem. Like, if we're not planning on going into this room, then we just take the bedroom. And maybe we check in here anyways to see if there's, because there could be coins on the desk. So it might be worthwhile to go into the bedroom, even though we have to come back into the gym. I guess we just take the bedroom here. Yeah. I'll take the bedroom and I'll hold on to my gems. But we're getting to that point. Can we even make it back to the coat check? I mean, we can make it back to the coat check, but we can't draft too many more rooms before we got to be like, unless we get a dining room or a kitchen. That's the deal. So let's take the bedroom that feels terrible, but it at least is not spending a gem. Aha. I think we can see. I'm not 100% sure, but it doesn't look like we can see there's no trunk, but it looks like there's no item on the dresser in the bedroom either. So there's no reason to go in for a sleep mask or anything else. It's just that there's a little bit of the texturing on the dresser that I don't think there's an item there. It looks like there's like I don't know, something that's colored differently than the rest of the texture, but it's so subtle. It's not an item, I don't think. So I'm not going to waste the steps. I'm not going to waste the steps. I don't know. That might be a mistake. But I don't see any reason to go into the bedroom right now. Because who knows? We could draft a nursery. There's a world where we draft a nursery, and then I would have an incentive to come back and proc the bedroom for the nursery. So let's not go in there for now, and let's draft. Here, I think I will draft another green room and hope to get a second cloister, because I think they do give you duplicates. And I feel like we're very likely to get a cloister here, which would be awesome, right? A free cloister, even though we can't dig in the spots in the cloister, which is annoying. But I do think we take a green thumb here. I don't want to take hallways, because the Great Hall is not good for us this run. We definitely don't want a bedroom, don't want more red rooms. We could think about taking a shop, but we're still very low on coins. So I feel like right now, we need doors. That's the important thing. Doors is the important. We drafted a dead end out of the gym. This has to be a green thumb. It's the green. It's the go green draft. There's no other choice, is there? Do I ever use my silver key here? I don't think so, but this would help. This would really help make sure we get a cloister, but I don't think it's correct to use that here. I think we just use the regular key. And our pool is, because we're not on the wing, this is the thing, is your pool is pretty limited right now. It might just be, it's like aquarium, courtyard, and cloister. Is that really it? We know there's one other room that we haven't seen so far, but I feel like the rest of the green rooms are all wing-only rooms. I think I could just use a regular key here. There's a cloister. Perfect. That is exactly what we were expecting to see. We don't get the 2 gems from the courtyard, but at 6 gems still, we should still get the courtyard at some point. It's interesting. I don't know how the rules work. If I were to draft the courtyard here, does that mean that I would no longer, would the courtyard be out of my normal pool? Or does the secret passage have its own pool that it's pulling from? Don't tell me. A detail that I'm not sure that I don't want to know from the comments just yet. But down the road, at some point, I will want to know, just not yet. We take the cloister here for options, right? It's actually close. I could see a world where the courtyard is correct because gems, gems, gems. But I think because of that possibility that we might just be taking away the courtyard from our draft pool, I'm going to take the cloister. I don't think aquarium is enough of a... Like, the cloister is free. We take the value, right? On a day like this where we have the terrace, we take the cloister. It's just too good. This is why we took the secret passage. Okay, so let's think about... Let me just think about... do a little sanity check on steps here. If I had to turn around to get to the coat check, it would cost me 3 for the gymnasium, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 steps. We really want to get our hands on some steps here. Because now as soon as I go into every room that I enter, that adds 2 to the counter. So now I go into this room, and I still can't dig the site here. I don't know what the heck is up with that. But now my step counter is at 17 to get back to the spare room. So the good news, though, is that we do get to draft 3 times. So we probably start with, I don't know, we might, I think we start with the rank 7 doors. Because if we get a dining room, we don't want to proc rank 8 just yet. Although drafting into rank 8 is not the same as going into rank 8. So why don't we see, the courtyard I feel like is still the most possible option to show up in our pool, and I want the courtyard to be here. If the courtyard's going to go anywhere, actually it doesn't matter. It could go, it would be just fine to have it either to the right or up. I don't want it to go to the left. I don't want the courtyard to be up to, I don't know. I'm overthinking this. As per usual, I'm overthinking this. Let's just, the other thing is here, we do have a security card door, right? Why don't we use the security card door? Because we know, well, we don't have to use a key if this door is locked, we don't have to spend a key. Just freaking draft. Just freaking draft. Okay, don't have to use a key. Let's draft this door. Actually, let's draft the left-hand side and see if it's locked. It's probably locked. It's not locked. There's a patio and the courtyard. So the patio spreads gems in every green room. The problem is we don't have steps to get to those green rooms. Those green rooms are all on the other side. But it's still probably the pick here. Because I don't really... Yeah, I think the patio is still the pick. The only question is, am I going inside that patio? Because I'm so conscious of steps right now that I really want to make sure... I really want to make sure what? I want to get a dining room is what I want. If I wanted to maximize my chances with the dining room, it could be correct to take the courtyard here. That might be the correct choice and say, hey, now the courtyard's out of your pool. Now there's a better chance of seeing the dining room. The dining room is pretty unlikely on this day, though, I think, because of the buff to 4-way rooms and green rooms. I don't know. I don't know, man. I also don't have to get my lucky rabbit's foot back to the coat check. We don't have to do that. It's not, it could be correct that the way you're supposed to play this game is not chicken out like, uh-oh, I'm going to run out of steps if I don't turn around to the coat check right this second. Like, that's, honestly, that, when you think about it, it's kind of a, it's kind of the pussy move. Like, you just keep drafting. And you hope to get a kitchen, you hope to get a coat check, not a coat check, but a dining room, and these other ways to replenish your steps, right? A nursery into a bunk room. You hope that the game rewards you and gives you ways to get back to the start. And if you run out, if you lose your lucky rabbit's foot, then so be it. So we play the game where we're able to go back and get all these gems at some point because we drafted our patio and we took our steps and we did the stuff that we were supposed to. Let's just keep playing the game. Don't fucking overthink it. Take that goddamn patio and then draft the rest of these rooms. Yes, that would have been one. That would have been an order. Ordering does matter. We could have gotten a little more value by drafting a courtyard in one of these two directions before drafting the patio. Because we know the patio is only going to show up on the wing, that may have been the smart move to maximize our gems. Hopefully that doesn't cost us here. But let's draft up. There's that courtyard again. Probably what we're going to take. We do have so many keys if we ever wanted to open the Great Hall. But at the same time, if we are opening the antechamber today, it would be the bottom door, would it not? But I could take this drawing room, and I still have the room out of the cloister to draft, which is probably going to be a courtyard. If I want to get my dining room, I need to get this courtyard out of here at some point. I could say to myself that, hey, maybe I throw the Great Hall up here. It's the room that I care the least about, and I don't want to go in here if I can help it. I don't want to go into the Great Hall until I have a dining room. And I could say, you know what? I'm not going to worry about opening all those halls, those Great Hall doors, until I have used my keys in all the other places that I want to. And I always have that door out of the top of the Great Hall to check the very top left corner. This is actually not a terrible spot to put the Great Hall, right? So maybe we do that. I think I will do that. I'm going to stick the Great Hall up here and try to put the courtyard to the right of the cloister. I don't know. This could be wrong, but having the Great Hall somewhere, we're probably not going to get offered the foyer, so the Great Hall is not going to be automatically open like it was yesterday. It isn't unusual, but it's being offered more often because of the Southern Cross. Maybe I should do what I was thinking of doing and just take the courtyard to make sure, like, this actually gives us the most options without spending a gem, and it just plays into going green. We get, the courtyard doesn't cost anything, first of all, which it normally would cost a gem, so we just get 2 gems for free. We get 2 directions to draft. And we get a greater chance of finding items in a courtyard. So stuff like fruit, turnips, coins are more likely to show up here. And we move it out of the draft pool. So maybe there's a world where we get lucky and get the dining room offered to the right of the cloister. Let's go ahead and do that. I was thinking of playing some games with the Great Hall, but let's just keep drafting. I can already see oh my God, there's a metal detector. Okay, and a trunk. That's awesome. Because the metal detector, I think, does... That would be a reason to go... That would be a reason to go get that metal detector now. Because I think it influences the chance that coins and keys spawn in a room when you draft them. So, like, we could save the steps. Nah, I'm not gonna min-max that. If I go in to get that, it's going to be... Because the thing is, I want to get a dining room. If I go in there, I've stepped into rank 8, haven't I? So I don't want to do that yet. That may not be how the dining room works. The dining room might not be retroactive. It might be that once you draft the dining room, you just have to walk up to rank 8. But I don't know for sure if that's how it works. So I could be, this is another thing I'm probably overthinking. But I'm going to draft this way first. Now, do I use a special key here? If I want to get the dining room, I probably don't use the special key. So I think I use a regular key here and see, just go with the flow. there's that rotunda. Interesting. We actually do get the rotunda here, which can be rotated. And we're going to get gems back when we go to the courtyard. This is fascinating. I kind of want to... Does this mean... Like, the rotunda can rotate. Does this mean that you can draft in every direction as well? You get to draft these 3 directions that you would be... I mean, we've got to try this. It's a new room. We've got to do it. We were already denied one time this run. This has to be it. We have to try this. We're going to take the rotunda. And then I am going to take a moment to think about what I do next. As I always do, think and then overthink. Because that's what we do here. I think we have to make a decision as to... And I think I've maybe already done it. My decision about this Lucky Rabbit's Foot is that I'm not gonna... The run still has too much potential. There's still too many fun things to do in the rest of the estate. There's even a possibility that we draft every single room in the estate. So that possibility being there is not enough for me to say, I want to make it back to this, no matter what. I want to guarantee that my Lucky Rabbit's Foot makes it back to the coat check. I think it's worth the risk of losing the Lucky Rabbit's Foot, of just continuing the draft no matter what we do. So we have 20 steps right now. We're not starving for steps at this very moment. So what we're going to do, before we draft through the rotunda and see how that works, we're going to go through the patio. We're also going to check this room for our gem. There we go. Because we spread gems with the patio. And so there's a gem here in the green room that we're in because everything is green today. Another reason to check the patio. Oh man, there's fruit. Already rewarded. Plus 2 steps. So we get to step in here for free, essentially. And we get a key as well on top of the gem. Awesome. Now, one thing that we saw previously in the aquarium was we had a clue about what looked like the patio. And there being an X marks the spot right in front of the grill. Occasionally you may find small mounds of dirt. Yeah, what does the X marks the spot signify? We can't interact with anything on the grill. The grill itself is just sitting here, not doing anything. You can't do anything with it. So was that clue? Wait a minute. Wait a second. Dude. There's a dig spot here. Is it even... I'm going to click it before I lose it again, but I saw it momentarily, and then it was so hard to find. Is it like just one little pixel, I'm wondering? I don't want to lose it, so I'm going to click it. Because we can dig in front... A long buried file cabinet key. Likely opens a drawer somewhere on the estate. We need to draft the archives. What the hell? There is a dig spot here, and it might have been pixel perfect to find that thing. What the... Or, okay, now that I see where the dig spot was, I was actually probably too far away. I needed to be a little bit closer, and then it would have been easier to pick up. There was a clue in the aquarium. This game is crazy, dude. This game is insane. Insane, dude. We need to draft the archives because that almost a few unimpressive pebbles. Get out of here with these. I'm so over. I don't even want to dig anymore. I'm just wasting my energy digging in these places. What the fuck, man? Let's see what we get below the patio. But we need to draft the archives. I don't necessarily want to draft it here. I'm not so desperate that I would draft it in this spot, per se. But I could draft a security room. I could draft the lavatory and just say, all right, we're going to settle for a dead end that I'm not going to go in because it really is a dead end. Is it a good enough reason for us to draft the aquarium? Because we know that there is a greater chance of finding items today? Maybe. Maybe that's a good enough reason. It just wastes 2 of our doors. I don't think that's quite a good enough reason because we could still draft the aquarium. It's still likely to be drafted because our green room pool is pretty small now. There's only so many green rooms left to be offered. So I feel like the chances of the aquarium showing up pretty high still. And putting it out, yes, if this rotunda can rotate every single direction, what the hell? That's crazy. Then we would definitely want it. We would want it to be there. So I think we maybe settle for the lavatory or the security room would be in a pretty inconvenient spot as well. The security room would guarantee us a terminal, which we don't have yet. We would still be banking on getting a terminal if we got our hands on an upgrade disc. We have so many fucking items. Holy shit. That battery pack, I have no idea what we'd do with that, but if we got a workshop would be great. But I don't know if the pool would offer it to us on a day like today with it only being a straight through that's not green. We still have that trunk and the metal detector in the courtyard that I haven't picked up yet. But I'm trying to get a dining room. Is that stupid? Should I just go grab... I should probably just go grab the metal detector because every time that I draft a room that I don't have the metal detector, I'm probably missing out on coins. I don't love drafting the security room here because we do miss out on those 2 doors, but it gets us a security terminal, and it would allow us to... we could up the security level to really make sure that we get security doors as much as possible when we have a key card. So yes, it's in a dead end, but it might be the right pick here. And then if somehow we live in a world where we do get coins, which we should theoretically, with a lucky rabbit's foot and a metal detector that I'm going to pick up here in a moment, we should be able to get an upgrade disc from the commissary. But we just need steps. Steps is really it's going to come down to the wire here, I think, steps-wise. There are so many gems still to get in those green rooms if we could make it back to them, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. We take the security room, and we can still afford basically any, as far as I know, unless there's a 5-gem room somewhere that we haven't had revealed to us yet. I am going to take the steps here, I think. This does mean that at the moment we're not able to make it back to the security or back to the coat check, but we already said we're going to try to just follow the run. Don't fucking overthink things and just go with the flow. We're going to change the keycard system settings to high. Give me all the doors, baby. All those doors. Is there any reason not to change the offline mode? We actually want it to stay on. We want this to be on when we have a keycard because if we do draft the archives, we're going to have one of our options blanked out, but the security keycard, the one positive of those doors, is they show you the rarity, even if it's an archived floor plan. So we definitely want to be able to see that. No fruit or any other items here. No keycard, no upgrade disc, nothing new. So we head... This time I will head to the courtyard. And we'll probably actually just draft up and to the right. Sorry, up into the top left corner and fill that out. Like, if we could get all 45 rooms, that would be pretty fun. We're also doing some more digging in the green room, even though the dig sites aren't great. Have not been so great so far. We do have a chance at getting turnips. So we'll take our metal detector, we'll take our gems, and we are getting so many resources today. This is insane. We get a storehouse basically, or a storeroom, an unupgraded storeroom there in a trunk, just randomly. Awesome. Another dirty coin. We're starting to get some coins. All right. Does the metal detector make that more often? There's a turnip. That feels pretty good. Turnip is good. Is good, is good, is good, is good. Okay, now I think we draft to the left. I'm hoping that the dining room just works. It would be kind of unfortunate if it didn't. I also want to check out this rotunda, but let's try to draft up to the left and see what we get up here first. And then, because maybe we just dead end ourselves and then we don't have to worry about coming back here anymore. We do have to use a key, but man, we do have 7 of them, so let's do it. Yes, because steps are more valuable to us right now, I think, than keys. So let's draft this door. I think we'll be okay not drafting all 45 rooms today, folks. I think that'll be all right, because guess what? We're rich. I'm rich, biatch. Oh my god, that's a vault. That is a fucking vault. It's a slam dunk vault, I'm pretty sure as well. But we could get a storeroom and then we get offered a vault later. Holy shit, give me that vault. Don't even need to think about it. What the fuck? Give me my fucking money. Dude, the metal detector is going crazy in here. It's going to go crazy in here. What the fuck? We're in a new room and it's the vault. God damn. God damn, the metal detector. Oh, that's amazing. Monday, November 16th. It is the new week. Gotta remember that for payroll potentially later in the office. But right now, who gives a shit about payroll, baby? We're already paid. Oh, I forgot. I just forgot. I'm just remembering because I forgot. We have a coin purse as well? What? Metal detector is just like... This metal detector is crashing out because this is insane. I wanted to check my coupon book and remind myself what it does. It says, okay, it says save 1 coin on each purchase. That's actually amazing when it comes to the gems in the commissary, because the gems are only 2, oh my god. The gems are only 2 coins, what the fuck? We just need steps at this point. We just need a kitchen. What the fuck? A kitchen is like the most valuable thing to us. Now that we have a vault, there's nothing else we want but a kitchen. Crazy. What the actual hell? Okay, okay. Let's just keep going through the vault. My cat laser brain is thinking about what am I gonna do in a few rooms from now? Let's just get our coins. Let's get our coins. What the fuck, dude? We just need to not run out of steps. That's it. And you get an upgrade disc, and you get to do things. That is 62 coins? Bro, where's the casino? Where's the fucking... I might have a problem, guys. I might have a problem when I think I have the most money I've ever had, and my first thought is, where's the goddamn gambling spot? Okay, there's our stonks. Okay, good. Of course, in the vault, the stonks chart is just going up. We also know, fancy Egyptian god statue here, but we also know that theoretically there is a safe deposit key that will open something in this room, right? 304, was that the one? Right here. So it doesn't look like we can interact with any of these boxes, which is fine. I don't want to unless I have a key. I don't want to spend my time pixel hunting here for a box that can do something or can't do something. I just want to have a key that opens one of these when I have the vault. That's crazy. The layers of getting lucky and having the right combination of things happen for you. It's just so much fun. Okay, that looks like that's all to do. It is really just, it's 40 coins. Boom. A secure on-site depository filled with steel walls and numbered lockers. This fortified strong room holds a good portion of the Sinclair fortune, despite the fact that several inventories have led accountants to assume the true legacy is hidden elsewhere. Buried underground somewhere, perhaps. Rare. It is a rare. We've only the second time we've seen it. I'm so happy we were able to afford it this time. What room was it? Room number 23. So now we only have rooms. The ballroom was number 20. We don't know what 15 or 19 is yet. Maybe one of these is connected to the pool. What did the pool add? The locker room, the sauna, and the pump room. We have drafted all of those. We're still looking for 26 and 28. 7, 8, and 11, and number 1. What is number 1? Room number 1 may be the most important of them all. Who knows? Number 40 as well. Still a few gaps to fill in these. Still so many shops as well. This is the other crazy thing. I guess we've got the locksmith that we've never picked up. There's like the luxury room or something. There was something involving luxury goods I remember was offered, I think, yesterday. Most of these shops are on the rarer side, it feels like. But we could definitely afford some of those shops today if we're so lucky to be offered. Okay, how do we do this now? I kind of want to just draft from the Rotunda and see how that works. Can we actually just rotate? It says it can rotate. It says it can rotate. So why don't we just draft from the Rotunda and see what we get? Don't overthink it. Check out your other new room. That's the other new room we've got here. What the fuck? It can actually rotate. Meaning, I presume it means that you can draft in any direction. What the hell? I mean, we gotta click the button and find out, right? Oh my god. Oh, it's not doing what I thought. Or is it? Am I tripping? No, it is doing what I thought. Okay, I'm tripping. I'm tripping. I'm tripping because... Yeah, it's not gonna... for a second, you know, the way the room rotates was confusing me. I thought the cloister was going along with us for some reason. But no, we are rotating and the cloister is not. Or who knows? Who knows? The house and the rest of the universe is rotating and we're not. It is behaving the way that I thought. At least I think it. I think it's behaving the way that I think. I think a lot of things. Many of them probably wrong. Let's rotate this again. Is it rotating right back to where it came from? No. No, it's rotating in every direction. This is what I thought. So it can rotate in every direction. That is so powerful. Wow. That is so cool as well. Let's read about it. A circular chamber with a domed ceiling adorned with an array of mechanical gears. In the center of the room, a stone podium serves as a central pivot for the chamber's true purpose, rotation. A fitting function for a room named Rotunda, which means clockwise room in Arion? Arajan? Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'm gonna have to check my notes and see if that's mentioned elsewhere. It feels like we've got some fictional countries that are being mentioned here. And there was one lady, the only lady I think pictured in the foyer, whose name I don't remember, but it had a more, I don't know, what's the term here? A more foreign sounding name or a less English sounding name. Yeah, so maybe Arion, or however it's pronounced, is where this lady is from. I'm just guessing. Rotunda, that's cool. So I don't think it matters then too much which direction we draft. We just want a kitchen. That's ultimately what we want. We just want a kitchen because then we're set for life. A dining room would be nice as well. So we probably just draft down and up and try to get a kitchen where an elbow makes sense. Or just draft every direction because it really doesn't matter. Everything's going to be random anyways. So you might as well. No kitchen, but there is a locksmith. I like how the gear on the door, that's a nice, it's not on the door, it's on the draft. The draft pulls down. Oh, also, am I just noticing this for the first time? The fact that there's greenery, these plants that are on the side. Oh my God, and I'm noticing something else. Rotate floor plans? You can rotate the floor plans? What the fuck? That's insane. I'm not totally sure what it does, but it rotates the floor plans, doesn't it? Like this boiler room, it doesn't matter for us rotating the boiler room, or does it? Because the boiler room has the pipes and stuff, although we're not taking advantage of that this run at all. What the fuck? You can rotate the floor plans? There's that Great Hall again, by the way. Dude, if we get a locksmith plus the Great Hall, I think we need to take the locksmith here. I think we take the locksmith. We've got to take the locksmith. I'm so curious to try this rotate floor plans option, but I don't know for sure if it's replenishable. Something tells me that it is, but I don't know. It might be just a one-time usage. maybe per draft. Like, it may be limited, and I don't just want to waste it. Especially because it doesn't matter here for any of these options. I wouldn't want to rotate any of these. The locksmith, it doesn't even rotate. So I think we're taking the new room here, right? The locksmith is picture perfect, considering how many gems we have. It's not picture perfect, a kitchen would be. But I think we take the new room that we've never seen before. Do we? Because once again, we don't need keys. Would I ever be re-rolling here just for a kitchen? Because if I'm re-rolling for a kitchen or some other elbow, I could rotate them. I could rotate the elbow so it's pointing in the direction that I want. But I would be using my last die. But maybe this is how you're supposed to play this. You want to maximize your utility that you get from the Rotunda. It doesn't just rotate itself, it rotates the floor plans. This is amazing. When in doubt, take the new room. We've got more coins than we've ever had in our lives. Even if we don't think we're going to need keys right now, we may still need them. And who knows, there may be other things in a room that you've never drafted before that you're not accounting for. There's gems to pick up still. We can buy more gems from the commissary, especially it's the replenishable one. They only cost 2 apiece. So we have gems. We're not running out of those. The boiler room does give us one more door to draft, but the locksmith is a new room. Like, that is the thing here, right? If we take the locksmith, we're down to, okay, but we have the Rotunda and we can rotate floor plans. So we're very likely, it feels like, if we're able to rotate both sets of floor plans, we draft to the north and we can rotate the right way there, and we can draft to the east and rotate we can get maximum doorways from the remaining 2 rooms. This is an okay place to put a locksmith, and it's the first time we've ever drafted it. Let's take it and stop overthinking things. God damn it. I have too much fun playing this game. That's all there is to it. I love the decision making. I love the overthinking. There are so many. It's a locksmith. What did I expect? But there are so many keys. Oh shit. Oh shit. There are indeed. There's a special key that we could buy. There's also a lockpick kit. So these each get discounted by a coin. I think we know what 1 key and 3 keys do, which we don't need just yet, but we might if we draft a Great Hall. But I am curious to buy both the lockpick kit and the special key. That would cost us 16 coins, and we would be down. We would still be able to afford everything in the commissary, and probably plenty of food from the kitchen, because the fruit in the kitchen gets discounted by 50%. So we could buy a banana or an apple for 1 coin. 1 coin for like 2 or 3 steps each. We really need a kitchen. God damn, do we ever need a kitchen? I want to see what both of these are. Let's get the special key. Now, the special key, it could be like the basement key that we've already gotten. Like, who knows? That basement key might not only be offered in the antechamber. Something tells me it is. The special key could also be a silver key, which we've already got. But maybe it's like, it could give us like the key to that 304, the vault safety deposit box. Let's see. We've got to try. Do the new thing. There. Okay, the locksmith is whirring away here. It gets us a prism key. This is a new one. If you unlock a door with the prism key in a green room, hallway, bedroom, red room, or shop, you will draw floor plans of that same color. So it's sort of like a secret passage. It's the secret passage effect. That's so pretty. I'm in a disco all of a sudden. The prism key. That's amazing. Huh. So many decisions to be made now. Let's get the lockpick kit, because we're just gonna have all the items that we've ever wanted. We'll occasionally be able to open some locked doors. Okay, I kind of figured that's what it was. So we might not need this. That could be a waste of coins, considering we've already got 6. We'll occasionally be able to open some locked doors. There's part of my curiosity wants to see if it would be able to open the door at the bottom of the well. Probably not. Okay. So now what do we do? I think we draft. What do we draft next? The rooms that are most likely to be offered today are the ones that have 4 doors. The Great Hall has been offered so many times. The Great Hall would be pretty decent if we're able to put it to the right. It would still be like okay-ish if we put it up above the Rotunda. But putting it to the right of the Rotunda is the ideal spot, because we would actually draft the Great Hall now that we have a locksmith. Because that would be 3 more doors out into the rest of the place. I think we take the Rotunda here to the right. And then we would hope to get a kitchen, because if we take the Great Hall out of the pool, that's 1 more slot now for the kitchen to show up to the top of the Rotunda, or anywhere else. Let's draft to the right. Okay. We can just use the lockpick kit. And it's just like a roll, I guess. So you get to roll this at any lock. That's pretty awesome, I think. It seems like it's a reusable item. So we might as well just use the lockpick kit, unless we wanted to try to use the prism key. But I don't think it has an effect here on... It doesn't have an effect here in the blue room, correct? So it wouldn't make sense to use the prism key here. It could make sense to use a silver key to really, really, really guarantee that we get a Great Hall. Or one of those other rooms that we've never been offered before, like the Hall of... what was it called? I don't remember. The Hall of Mirrors or something. I'm going to check the wording again here on the silver key. Unlocking a door with the silver key will lead to a room with many doors. We want many doors. We have keys. We just need doors. This is the spot to use a silver key. We're not saving the silver key in the coat check if we ever get back to the coat check. Silver key time. Wow. It actually didn't give us a 4-way door. That's a little crazy. Okay. We do get a conference room offered. Now we're not as concerned about spread, are we? I feel like I'm more interested in getting the pool. Because the pool would add... What would the pool get us? What's the best option here? And theoretically, we can rotate these. I haven't tried this yet. I don't know if this just lets you rotate them wherever you want. We might try it here in a minute just to see. But there's part of me that almost wants to redraw, because I feel like we got a little bit unlucky not getting offered a single 4-way. But I guess we've used the passageway. We've used the cloister. Are those our only 4-ways at common and uncommon? Maybe. But I would have thought we would have at least got offered a red room, like the archives. And I think I would take the archives if it was here, because I have a key to get in the archives. I almost feel like redrawing here, because I don't feel like I got usage out of my silver key. My silver key didn't get me anywhere. We should probably save the die though, because we still get to draft forward from here. This is perfectly fine. And if I did draft, I would want the orientation of the rooms, I think, to be the way the conference room is. Well, no, I would actually want them to be down and to the right. I think that would be my preference. I think we're supposed to get the pool here. Question mark? Like at this point, we've used the patio. And getting the office for spreading coins, like it's good still, but we have 46 coins. We may not even use all these coins. I don't know. What are the other options to spread stuff around the house? I'm not even sure at this point. But the conference room feels less thrilling than even just getting another key. We're just a little bit low on gems at the moment. I would have to backtrack to the commissary to get more. And that's where my steps concern comes into play. We haven't gotten that kitchen yet. We haven't gotten that dining room yet. We're running out of time. And I want to secure one of those before I go back to the commissary. That's kind of what I'm banking on here, which is another reason potentially to redraw. The pump room is an interesting one to consider getting, because that would allow us to manipulate the reservoir. Now that we have some incentive to make the reservoir drained, I don't know if we would want to do it still, because we don't know yet how to get to that other side that's in the reservoir across the water. And that's where the staircase is, where if we drain the water, we could go down that staircase and explore. The pool theoretically does have a bunch of coins if we're able to drain it. And of course, getting the locker room at this point actually might be worth it, because drafting the locker room with as many keys as we have access to now, we might be able to open every single locker. Maybe that would be the exact same effect of having the Great Hall. We might be at a point where we're actually able to open every single room in the locker room. So we should draft the pool. And if we're going to draft the pool, the only question is, where do we want it rotated? I think I probably want it rotated up and down, but let's see what happens with the rotate floor plans, and maybe it just lets us choose any direction. It might be repeatable. I think I'd be happier with, if it's only a one-time thing, I would be happier with either option for the pool. There's two other potential orientations, and I think I would prefer both of them over the current one. So let's rotate and see what happens. It is repeatable. You can just keep rolling. Just keep on rolling, just like in Elden Ring. I also, the other detail here that I was in the middle of noting before I noticed that you could rotate the floor plans. They add greenery to your floor plans here, just like they add the compass on the drafting screens to give you this little reminder of how your draft that day is being influenced. Yeah, if we draft the pool like this, and then get the locker room directly below it, that's maybe the ideal scenario, because then it doesn't keep the 45 room dream alive, because that's dead, but it lets us draft like the 2 rooms directly below the pool potentially. So let's do that. We would be spending 2 gems in the process, but we still have a gem available to draft the kitchen if it shows up. So let's take the pool, I think. We're gonna take the pool, and then we stay in the rotunda and we draft up from the rotunda, because we can rotate. Let's see what we get, because maybe we get a kitchen up in the rotunda. Even though we've added the pool or the locker room and sauna and stuff to our pool now, but you know, if I get the sauna offered up here, that's cool. We get 20 steps for tomorrow, and I'm good with that. We take the money and run. Okay, now we get to use our lockpick kit to see what happens. And it worked. That's awesome. That is absolutely amazing. Here, we could take the Great Hall. Now we get our chance to use our 7 keys. Although in this case, we would not be using the 7th key on the door that goes to the antechamber. We could also just take the archives, because we know that we do have a key that we want to use in the archives, and that maybe is the smart pick here. Just get the intel that you know that you're about to get, because you have the file cabinet key. And then this guarantees that you can continue drafting to the right without spending any keys. But now you do have to start drafting without one of your floor plans being visible. But that just means gamba, doesn't it? More gamba, more better. The other option, of course, is just to take the aquarium. The aquarium does get you, you're not getting to the antechamber. You are actually just completely closing yourself off from that room in the antechamber, which I don't think is happening anyways, even though we have a broken lever and the greenhouse. So we would be completely closing that option off, but we would get the benefit of having a green room, which would have dig sites. It would have a chance to have more items. And, interesting, how would the prism key work drafting out of the aquarium? Does that explain itself? I don't know how that would work. Could you actually get offered a black print? We know that the aquarium, or at least I've been able to deduce, I don't know if we've talked about it on camera, but the aquarium is counted as a black room because part of its border has that color. But we've never seen a black room offered. We have no idea, other than we know from the menus that the aquarium is counted as a black print. The room directory does tell us that, right? Could we get offered a black room by using the prism key out of the aquarium? What the fuck? We have a metal detector to be able to tell us which rooms in the Great Hall would have coins. We're getting very close to the point where it would be dicey for me to even make it back to the commissary and then to the security room to have my upgrade disc. That is the one thing that is permanent progress here. No matter what you do, getting that upgrade disc is a pretty nice thing to try to You know, if you have to back out of the rest of your run and call it a day, I would want to bank that upgrade disc, that's for sure. And since we are getting to that point where I might consider that, I think we do take the archives, because the archives gets us to use the file cabinet key. And if we're not going to be drafting too much longer, then we get to at least see what's in the file cabinet. Intel. Let's take the archives. Intel. Is this the file cabinet? I think it is. There it is. Look at that. Would you look at that? That's an upgrade disc, ladies and gentlemen. We got an upgrade disc. That's crazy. And we also get a certificate of birth for Mary Matthew Epson. Screenshot. The East Reddington Hospital certificate of birth. This document attests that Mary Matthew Epson was born to Lady Clara Epson and Simon H. Sinclair in this hospital at 4:05 a.m. Tuesday, 22nd day of January in the 6th era, 1958. What is the 6th era? Sounds like some Red Guard, Red Curtain propaganda shit. In witness whereof, East Reddington Hospital certifies that the information above is true, as verified by its duly authorized officer of the Finn Aries Registrar Persons, Lily Rizian Rose, Dr. Sarah Drivian, Registrar Officer. Okay, they're giving us a certificate of birth. Probably means that our mom's birthday is important. Somehow, some way. The time might even be important. The time of birth. Is the archives music the same as the observatory music? Sounds very similar. We also got an upgrade disc. That was very worth. I'm glad we did that. Because this run might be at an end. I might be at the point now where I have to say, you know what, we have one upgrade disc, we're gonna go grab another, and that's gonna be it. However, there is another item here. What is this? What? What? Excuse me? Are you trying to tell me? I pressed the wrong button. I pressed the wrong button. Hold on. I meant to print screen. X marks the spot? Are you trying to tell me that there is a dig site in this room? We are in that room that is depicted on that map. Treasure map. What? I'm to start pixel hunting for a dig spot. A dig spot in the fucking archives? What? That makes no sense. That makes zero sense. What am I even doing anymore? What is this game? What is life? But we now know from the patio that dig sites out of nowhere, we can use the treasure map. Yeah, this looks like the spot. Okay, yeah. Time to start digging, what the fuck? We're really digging. We're really going at it. I mean, we are digging through an actual floor, so yeah, it takes some time. Oh my god, you've got to be kidding me. We've dug up one of the lost coffers of Mount Holly. It looks like we just got so many gems. 8 gems. I need a freezer. Guys, I just realized that I need a freezer. I want to draft a freezer out of this archives room. More badly than I've ever wanted anything in my entire life. What the fuck? I have 16 steps. To make it back, okay, I have one upgrade disc. I don't have to buy the one at the commissary, but if I did, which I do want to, if I did do that, it would cost me from this room, 1, 2, 3 steps for the gymnasium, so 6 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We would have just enough steps to get both upgrade discs and make it to the security room. Do we just draft this one final room and we hope to get a freezer? We don't know what rarity the freezer is, but I don't know that we would be able to tell because this is not a keycard door. This is not a keycard door here. We're not going to know what rarity an archived floor plan would be, but I don't think the freezer cost gems, did it? The freezer was not a gems option. I might quickly look through my previous draft results just to verify that. The other thing that we would be looking for is not just a freezer, we can also get a kitchen, right? The kitchen is still what we're in the game for, or a dining room. Although I'm not confident that the dining room bell would sound after already reaching rank 8. So there's some risk in play here. Potentially, but let me just check my results for the freezer first. Okay, before I get into, I'm going to draft this door, right? One way or the other, I'm drafting this door, and I'm almost certainly using the key to open that door. So we're gonna draft this. Okay. That changes things a little bit. That changes things maybe just a tad, but not that much. It changes things in that I can get the office. I could draft the office, which would it would give me a closer terminal that would also, let me think through my options here. I've got to think this through, because we can always get one upgrade disc for sure. It's just a matter of, we need to make a decision now if we're risking not getting that second upgrade disc. If we continue our draft through the pool, we're putting that in risk if we don't get access to a kitchen. Now, the archived floor plan here is a single gem, and that might be the single reason to just slam dunk this archived floor plan here, because a single gem room includes kitchens. It's a low chance still, because I think there's a lot of single gems in the pool. But if there were a kitchen to be had, it could be here. And do we really care about an office when we have 46 coins? Other than, like, it's getting us a closer terminal, but we already have one in security. The office doesn't really matter to us. The pump room, not that thrilling. Not that thrilling until we know how to get to the other side of the reservoir. I'm just realizing that the pump room is facing the other way. I decoded this as the office and the pump room were facing the same direction. Okay, the pump room does face upwards, so it's another direction to draft. So that is an important distinction then. Because we could get something like, well, you know, the nursery would be good too. Let me just think through my gem options here and think, what do I get offered? At common, this is the thing. At common, the nursery and the kitchen are the two most likely. They're the only ones at common that cost a gem. At standard, there is the rumpus room, but we've already taken the pool, the courtyard, and security out of the equation. The commissary is drafted, the observatory is drafted, the walk-in closet has been drafted. So at common and uncommon, it's either the rumpus room or the kitchen or the nursery. And all those would be fine. I would be okay with the rumpus room here, because that actually gets us another chance to do the game with Alzara. Not to mention it continues draft. If we want to continue the draft and we just say we're not worrying about getting back to the commissary, we're going for a kitchen or a dining room, we're going for broke. Let's take the archive floor plan here. Let's do it. The other option was a locker room. Okay. So the locker room does get us through to the next part. It also spreads keys throughout the house. I forgot about that. That would have been a reason to have the conference room, I suppose. But then we wouldn't have had the locker room because we'd have drafted the pool. We just open every single room in the locker room, don't we? Especially now we have a lockpick key, we can probably just take a chance to open every single one. And I want to keep going. We might miss out on an upgrade disc because of taking this step forward, but I'm going to do it because there's still enough potential left in this draft where I want to keep the ball rolling. And the chance to gain further intel by opening all of these rooms is very, very enticing. Ah, but it doesn't let us use the lockpick. Okay, so there are 1, 2, 3. We can't, oh, we can open this door. It must have been bugged out the other day. 4, 5, 6. Are there 3 on every row? I think there's 3 on every row, and there's 6 rows. Maybe there's only 2 here. One of them's already open. This one has 3. And this one has 3 as well. So every row except for 1 has 3. So that's 14 doors. That's a lot of doors to open. But we have a lot of keys because we have a fucking locksmith nearby. And we have enough steps to be able to do all of this. I think. Going from here to the locksmith and back to the locker room would be 6 steps round trip. That would put us at 9. And we would still have enough to get back to the security room. For the sake of science, I just kind of want to do it. I want to open every single room. Now, the first thing, before we open all of these, we could just see if we're able to get through to the next room. Probably locked, but we can use the lockpick kit, right? And see, do we ever use our special key? No, we can't. The prism key doesn't make sense here. So we try the lockpick kit, but we're not able to pick it. Okay. So we would have to decide then if we want to, like, we can afford all the keys we want with the coins we have, right? Did I screenshot the options back at the locksmith? I did not. So I don't know if we could afford, it's 14 keys. We'd have to get 8 more keys if we want to do every single one of these. There's part of me that wants to open every single one because we have seen special intel in one of them before. There was a note. Now, I have fortunately been good enough with my note-taking here that I did happen to jot down which lockers were unlocked. So maybe we don't have to open every single locker. I've actually opened 7 of these. Wow. I didn't realize I had opened that many. So apparently, oh no, but I did it on a different day. Did I actually open row 3, locker 5 twice? Wait a minute, is that true? Did I make did we draft? No, we've only drafted this one day. So one of my notes is wrong here, I think. I think I made a mistake in my note taking. So I don't actually remember which one was, oh shit. I might check my footage to be sure on this. Because I don't want to open up the same, assuming that the note is in the same locker, I wouldn't want to open up that one again. But I guess it's not the end of the world either. So let's just go down the line here. Let's just go down the line and we're gonna open, I opened on the first row. If we're counting row 1 as the one by the door that you come in, ordering the rows from left to right, 1 through 6, and then facing each row, numbered from left to right, you have door 1, door 3, and door 6. So I think I opened door 3 before, and there was nothing in there. So let's open 1. Hopefully I'm doing this right. Oh, coins and gems. All right. Now, depending on how we go here, some of these coins and some of these gems may not get fully utilized. We really could use a kitchen. Gosh, should I just draft to see if I get a kitchen before I do anything else? That's where I should be using my keys, right? Don't open every single locker room door. Make sure you get a kitchen if you can. That's what I should do. Don't be a dingus about this. If there's a kitchen right here, we're in business. Wait, I can use the lockpick kit again? Wait, what? Still seems too difficult to pick. I was going to say, they don't let you just keep re-rolling it, right? So we use it. Use a key. There's the archived floor plan again. Now, they might keep... Oh, we have so many gems, though. Servants' quarters. That's not good enough here, right? The maid's chamber. The maid's chamber keeps us going. We would be less likely to find items laying around. But we've already got, like, how many buffs to our item drop rate? It's just we don't have any special synergy with the maid's chamber, right? Doesn't get us extra steps. So I think this is the one that's, like we said before, it's either a kitchen, or it's a nursery, or It might be one of the special rooms that's connected to the pool. Is the pump room, does the pump room cost gems? Pump room does not cost gems. Does the sauna? The sauna also does not cost gems. So we drafted the locker room, which was the last one that had a gem cost associated to it. That was at, I guess, but the locker room is at rare. So, let me just go through my gem options one more time here. We've drafted the walk-in closet, the rumpus room, although I find it unlikely that the game would give me the rumpus room here, given that we're up against the east wing. I feel like, given the game logic that I understand, that's not possible. The drawing room is still possible. That is one that is at common that I hadn't thought about. The drawing room would be okay because that would give us 2 directions. It would force the drawing room, I think, to draft to both the top and the left. Sorry, top and bottom. And then we would be able to re-roll for the kitchen. Do we have so many gems? This is crazy. The boiler room is a single gem option, but it is unusual. The laboratory is there as well. There are quite a few single gems that would not be the kitchen, but I think we still take the chance, especially given the fact that we've got gems to spend. Let's take it. Let's see what happens. Not the kitchen, but it is the drawing room. Are we still at the point where we can go back? We're still plenty close enough to the security room to go back and use our single upgrade disc, but we are at that point where that might be, we might be stuck doing that. Like if I wanted to go back to the locksmith and then unlock the rest of the locker room with my time left, that's 6. Right, we said that that would be the point of no return. If I go to the drawing room now and then try to do the stuff with the locksmith in the locker room, I don't get my upgrade disc. If I get unlucky with the drawing room, right? We have 2 chances to re-roll for a kitchen or a dining room maybe. The dining room might still work, although I don't know that it would offer us the dining room on the top. I feel like a kitchen would be much more likely in the top right corner. Let's take the chance. If we don't get to open every door in the locker room, that's fine. We'll do that some other time. Let's take the chance. There's a metal detector going off, so something to be found here. Something to be found. But where? On the floor. Key on the floor. There it is. All right. So now I think I do draft to the left. Sorry, to the top. We have to use, well, we can try our locksmith, but it's probably the higher ranks that you get, the less likely the lockpick thing is going to be to work. But this is where we use a regular key. Kitchen! Holy moly! The kitchen at long last. We didn't have to redraw. Didn't even have to redraw that shit. We're back in business, boys. Let's fucking go. Holy shit, it took long enough. Look at this awesome window. This window siding, full-on windows here that you get your absolutely gorgeous, breathtaking view of the East Wing. We're way up here, though. There's is there anything to be seen this far up, this far north, other than a little bit of bugginess with the way that the room to the right of us is being drawn as I slip. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. Guys, we have steps. We have so many steps. The main course, yeah, the main course is only served in the dining room. Wood-fired pizza is the thing today, but we might not even get there. Dude, there's tomato soup as well. Holy shit. Do we just buy that right now? Probably. I don't see any reason. I don't think we're holding on for... We've got 4 red rooms already. Are you kidding me? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. And there's a club sandwich. And we could get as many bananas as we want eat as well. This is ridiculous, dude. This vault is amazing. We get the coupon book. Okay, we're doing it. Dude, we might make it back to the coat check. We could potentially do all the things now. This is nuts. Okay. So let me think. Do I want to keep... What I want to do is actually draft the room to the left. Now I do need to think about my coins. Maybe I should have thought those purchases through. I might not have needed both of those. I don't know. But I think with the gymnasium, I am going to need all of that. If I want to do both upgrade discs and also get back to the coat check to stash my lucky rabbit's foot. I think we wanted to get both of those. So, whoo! All right. Now the question is, do we use our prism key here? This could be an awesome prison key, right? Prism key, because now we get to see with our coins what's available in one of these other shops. We could get the casino, which I wouldn't love to get the casino because we've already drafted that. I would be hoping to get something new, like that luxury shop. So I think we actually do use the prism key here because I'm curious to see what these other shops are, right? Let's do it. I think this is where I want to use the prism key. Boom. Extra shop, gimme, gimme. I like how it lights up yellow there. That's awesome. It did give us the casino. God damn it. I don't want that. And the aquarium is in the pool? Bro. Except I have the broken lever. Yo. I almost forgot. I have the broken lever. We have to take the casino because I want to see what happens with the broken lever. That's crazy. Okay, casino. Go. Oh my God. What the fuck? This run is insane. I did not expect. And it gives us coins as well. I forgot about that. The casino gives us a bunch of coins to play with. This time it's 12, but we're getting, of course, the coin purse. So it's an insane amount of coins. But now we get to use this broken lever here? The metal detector, why is it showing up here? Let's just use the broken lever. And, oh, I see, there are 5 bonus spins here. You get 5 bonus spins. And maybe you also get a crazy better rate to get lucky clovers. We got to gamble at least a little bit, guys. We're here at the casino with the golden lever. Dude, this is the lucky slot machine, isn't it? This is the lucky fucking slot machine. Do I bonus spin here? No. Because the upside is only 5 versus 3. So we just take that. And we cash out, or we try to double. We can always re-roll the snake, correct? If we bonus spin. And we can also get the nets. We just keep rolling. Oh, it automatically cashes you out. Never mind. So you automatically cash out after every roll. Okay. Is this just straight profit? Is this just straight up, like, holy shit. I re-roll this, don't I? Oh, it doesn't work this way. You have to get a coin here. This is probably bad. This is probably bad pot odds here, but I'm curious to see how this works. Because I feel like there's a much higher chance that it spins to the one you want. But in this case, it didn't. I don't know if I want to keep using my coins. I'll do one more time. But it's only... I don't know. This is probably wrong. Let's just do one more. This has got to be wrong. Okay, we got lucky. But I think that's wrong to re-roll there. It would be much better if I had like triple coins that I was going for, doubling the triple coins. So I can double... I see. Got it. That makes total sense. This is the lucky slot machine though, guys. I don't know if it's straight up profit, but I'm my goodness, what the fuck? What the fuck? There's got to be a point at which it like busts you out, right? Dude, wait a second. We got money for that? No. It was counting the money that I spent on the next roll. This is crazy, dude. Oh my god. But that's fine. That's okay. I don't care about this. Because it's not taking my money from my reserve. Like, I would be worried if it was like taking all 67 of my coins, right? Which is what I thought at first when I read this, but that's not what it's doing. So here, I don't think it's worth using a bonus spin because the bonus spin does cost me a coin. So I'm spending a coin to potentially win 3. But I think there's a much worse than 1 in 3 odds to get a single coin there. So I just roll again. Now it might be worth to try to go for this one, but I'm not sure. We did this before. Like, this could be a waste. It would be nice if it quadrupled it, but you have to get 3 in a row for it to even count. So this could be wrong, right? This is where it doesn't feel like it's a 1 in 6 or whatever you need in order to get the correct pot odds. So this is probably me wasting coins, not understanding the odds of the game yet. But it's great. This, you could, I mean, this is the golden one, right? This is the golden, you're supposed to sit here all day spinning this thing until you get what you want. Now, the fact that the metal detector is showing off here does, let me quickly, before I spin this again, I just want to make sure there's not like a gimmick here or something that I'm overlooking. The metal detector going off means there's still something to be found. Okay, there was a key down here. That's what I was missing. So there was a key just randomly laying on the floor because we have a metal detector. It wasn't going off because I was sitting at the slot machine. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't some special thing I was missing. So we started off pretty hot, but now I'm wondering if this machine is actually any better odds than any of the other machines. It just seems to have the extra bonus spins from what I can tell. Otherwise, I'm not sure it's doing anything special for us. Okay, this one's kind of interesting. Now if I wanted to, now it might be correct to go for the bonus spin because there's upside. There's a lot of upside potentially. So now I think I will go for the bonus spins. Although, yeah, at what point do I call it quits? Like if one bonus spin is correct, they're all correct. That's the thing. The odds don't change based on when I'm rolling. So I either roll at once, or I either roll no times, or I roll all the times. And I think it's correct to roll all the times here because it's a 1 in 9. I think. I don't know if it's actually a 1 in 9. There it is. Boom. Rewarded. Happened to be rewarded there, but we might have gotten unlucky and gotten nothing. So who knows? This may be a fool's errand trying to play this game and actually make a profit. I don't think it's correct to reroll there. Now it's definitely correct to reroll. And you reroll all the times. Boom. Okay. Okay. All right. Interesting. Very, very interesting. We did end up making a profit, I think. We did have to go through quite a few spins, but if we wanted to stop there, we've made a profit. And maybe the odds on this machine are such where you could just continually profit. And that's how you get just all the coins in the world. The clovers, I don't think we've gotten a single clover at all. So those are very, very low odds to appear. The best case for the bonus spin so far is the situation where you have 2 triple coins and you go for that third. That seems to be correct pot odds. So now what do? Do I keep gambling? It is pretty fun pulling the slot machine and just seeing what happens. We could also play the game of chance here. I don't know if I want to spend 20 gold like I did last time, but we could get something really good and we would still have 50 gold to spend. Would we be able to buy all the things I want to buy? Dude, the fact that the stuff at the kitchen costs 1 coin now, right? Like maybe that was even the better value. Like it may have been silly of me to just even grab the fucking club sandwich. It might have just been better to grab a whole bunch of bananas because they're 1 gold now. I did not do the math and I should have done the math. But the thing is, we can kind of come back here. It's almost for free now the way we've set ourselves up. We can just keep drafting and we might be able to just have as many steps as we want. So why don't we stock up on a few of these? Because it only cost us 1. That's just crazy. This is insane. Nice. I'm just going to leave it there for now because it feels like between that slot machine and this 1 cost bananas, we could almost generate infinite steps. I don't know if it's going to work that way. Probably not. But we're not worried about steps anymore, folks, which means we are going to draft from the drawing room, right? And because we can always go back to the locksmith now to buy more keys. Everything is unlocked for us. This is insane. Locksmith kit. Oh, the locksmith actually worked. It's not called locksmith. What is it? The lockpick did its job. The storeroom. Imagine drafting the storeroom at this point. LOL. Okay. The laboratory would be fun, but it does cut us off from the rest of the house. And there is also one little consideration that I have here is that I don't have infinite time today. So I have to, at some point, wrap up this run. So I need to tamp down on the overthinking, and I also need to... what do I need to do? Do I just take the laboratory so I can do another experiment? The thing is, if these experiments are things that are supposed to normally... They don't always have an immediate effect, and I don't have the power from the boiler room to really investigate the puzzle that's in the laboratory. I don't think I draft the laboratory here. What would I be going for in this situation? I feel like we would just be, at this point, we would be going for stuff. We're kind of winding down our run because there's only so many rooms left to draft no matter what. So it might be correct for us to start taking tomorrow rooms if we can, which would mean we would want to redraw here to try to get the mailroom or the sauna or something like that. The rumpus room would be nice. It costs a gem, so that could be the archived floor plan here. The options under the floor plan, this could be a nursery now, which we don't need anymore. Don't need the nursery at this point. So shooting in the dark for a gem room is no longer quite as enticing. I kind of feel like this is a reroll. Normally the aquarium costs a gem, but not today. The enticing thing about the laboratory is that it does have... Like, I see one of the options here that we got offered, which was like, each time you eat an apple, gain +1 star. Or immediately gain +1 star. And I hadn't thought about the fact that the laboratory could offer you stars. So maybe that's a good reason to take it here. Even if we don't get to do whatever the puzzle is, with the period of the periodic table and whatnot, but we get to experiment more. We would also get to immediately use an upgrade disc for whatever that's worth. That being said, I feel like I would rather use the redraw that we have from the drawing room to see if we can do better. See if we can get a really, really rare room. Just get a new room offered altogether. Because there's still theoretically a green room out there, right? That is going to have a higher chance to be drafted today. And maybe it's offered only on one of the wings. Let's redraw. There's a freezer. Holy shit. Holy shit, that's a freezer. Oh my god, that's a freezer. We're not going to be able to spend all these gems today. And we're not going to be able to spend all these coins today. Well, I take that back. We would be able to spend all these coins today. But it would be opening up the rest of the locker room. The freezer means that we cannot adjust or use our coins or gems the rest of the day. So we would not be able to go back to get that additional upgrade disc from the commissary. However, we would be starting the next day with the nicest amount of coins possible. And a stack load of gems. And we did just stock up on steps from the kitchen, so I can probably make it back to the coat check to check in my lucky rabbit's foot. This is fascinating. That is such a good freezer, and we've never drafted it before. This is exactly what I was looking for, wasn't it? And we still have the pool, the bottom of the pool to draft out of. We still have 5 keys as well. We don't, we're not going to get to open every single room in the locker room if we take the freezer. But that is such an amazing way to start a run, right? The thing that does suck about this is that we have so many steps available to us now, and we could, theoretically, go all the way back through all these green rooms that there's a gem lying around in still and pick those up. But we can't, but we would have to be banking on getting another freezer offered. And there's only 3 rooms left maximum. That's really going too far. So we either take the freezer now, which, I mean, this is such a great way to start the day. 7 gems and 69 coins. How much better? What more can you ask for? But at the same time, I kind of want to still play the casino game to see what other rewards we might get from rolling the roulette wheel, spinning the roulette wheel. The drafting studio, that's an option. Taking the drafting studio and just adding another one of these new rooms. We've now been able to draft both the casino and the clock tower. The clock tower ended up being huge in terms of the intel that it provided. And also pretty powerful if you get that silver stopwatch every time and you know what's about to happen to you and you're prepared for it. And it would also be nice to be able to, you know, open all the rooms in the locker room to see if there's anything else stashed in there. Especially when we've got the locksmith right next to the locker room. Like, what better combination when you've got so many coins? What better combination could you ask for? I did go back to my footage to check, and it does cost, with the coin purse, it would cost us 4 coins per 1 key. Or I guess we would also get the bundle for 12 minus 1, which is 11 coins for 3 keys. So if we wanted to completely buy out or open up the locker room, we've already opened one of them. There's 13 doors left. So that would cost us, we have 5 keys right now. So we would have to get 9 more keys. No, 8 more keys. Math is hard. So we would get 3 for 11. And then we would get 5 more. 5 times 4. It would cost us 31 coins to fully open up. We would have more than enough coins to fully open up the locker room, and we would also be able to purchase the other upgrade disc. That's the other thing. If we do the freezer now, yes, we are getting an amazing start to the next day, but we're not actually getting that last upgrade disc. That upgrade disc is going to be there for every single run that we do for the rest of the game. And we can't get the freezer again. We do know the information that the freezer is not going to, we can't, there's a cooldown period. You can't draft it 2 days in a row. You can't just keep freezing your gems and your coins, getting lucky and stockpiling them over time. The freezer is a new room, and because of the intel that we have from the laboratory, the freezer could be very important for whatever puzzle is going on with, like, there's something having to do with melting, the melting point of water. And so the freezer seems like it's going to be involved in that. But I really love the idea of permanently unlocking things, permanently upgrading our rooms, and also permanently giving us more rooms to draft. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the drafting studio, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go bank. I'm going to go, let's just do it. We're going to take the drafting studio. This could be very wrong, but I think this is the way I want to play this. We're going to take the drafting studio, spend our gems, and then before I do that, I'm going to go back to the kitchen, and we're going to buy... The steps are so cheap. Steps are so cheap that we're going to buy a bunch of bananas. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go gather up the rest of the gems that are scattered around the house. Oh, shit, we can. There is a limit. Ooh, okay, well now my plan might change. There's a limit to the number of bananas you can buy. I think we might have gotten 5 was our limit there. So now my plans might change. Because what I was thinking of doing was I was going to draft. I was going to go pick up all the gems and come all the way back after coat checking my rabbit's foot. I was going to go get all the gems, coat check the rabbit's foot, because we only have a few more rooms to draft. We're not getting much more value out of the rabbit's foot. And then I was going to come back here, and if we do get lucky, we might get the freezer offered again, but we would be down a lot more coins, because what I'm going to do, what I was thinking of doing was spending all the rest of my coins. So maybe the freezer isn't even worth that much at this point. It would be worth a lot of gems, is what it would be, because I'm probably not going to be able to spend all my gems here. But now I need to be careful that I don't run out of steps. I think I have enough steps to do both upgrade discs. So then I would, yeah, let me just do, let me figure out my steps here. 40, 41, 42. I should have more than enough steps to do everything that I want to do here. I think I'm fine. Because even if I go and get, the only thing that I don't do is I don't get all of the gems from these, like the greenhouse. That would take a lot of extra steps to go to the terrace and the greenhouse to get those gems, and I might not even use them. So I would get the gem in the cloister, I would get the gem in the veranda, I would get the gem... We already got the gem that was in the patio. So I would get 2 additional gems. I would be going basically straight to the coat check, and I would be coming back around, doing my upgrade discs after buying the one at the commissary, And then I would be buying keys to open up the rest of the locker room. And I can do that with around 42 steps or so. And then I would still have enough here to draft the remaining rooms in the house. And who knows, maybe get lucky and get another freezer. So then I should try to spend the rest of my steps. Maybe it is worthwhile to go get these other green. Maybe I can be greedy and go get the rest of the gems in the secret garden and stuff. From the kitchen to the cloister, that's kind of the central point here that I need to calculate. So kitchen to cloister is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then from the cloister to the coat check, 15, 16. From the coat check, if we go from the coat check to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to get to the passageway, if I get just the secret garden and the greenhouse and skip the terrace, then from passageway back to cloister, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We're starting to get a little bit dicey there. We're down to 16 steps. And now I would go Rotunda, Locksmith. That's 2. Rotunda Archives Locker Room is 5. So then I would be down to 11. And yeah, I still have a very healthy... I can still go... Because at that point, I'm done. I don't have any reason... Unless I find another upgrade disc somehow... But I don't have another reason to go back to security. But I forgot to do my upgrading. That's the only thing. So I went to the cloister, but I didn't go. So I need to add 1, 2, 3, 4 steps to this cloister here. So this is actually another additional 4. So now I'm back to the locker room with 7 steps. And now I would be going to the drafting studio with 5. So I might run out of steps if I wanted to also draft the pool. So I should probably skip out on the gems that are in the greenhouse and the secret garden. It's just 2 gems, and we might not even get a freezer. So I think that's probably worth skipping those. And again, the only reason that I'm doing all this ahead of time is in the off chance that we did get offered another freezer. We would have a lot less coins, because I am going to be spending coins here to get keys, which may not be worth anything. It may be a complete waste to open up all these rooms in the locker room. But because there was a note, I want to see if there's any other notes, because those are also kind of like permanent progress, Metroidvania. I could check something like a key card, but I like the Lucky Rabbit's Foot. I like the idea of just kind of getting lucky and getting these things like, I'm assuming treasure map, and basically probably all of these that we got after the Rabbit's Foot have been influenced. The chance of those dropping has been influenced by that. And so I kind of like this sort of random element of who knows what you're going to get this day with a Lucky Rabbit's Foot. So let's do that. Let's go and take care of the first order of business is make it to the coat check and go ahead and check the Lucky Rabbit's Foot, and we'll pick up our gems along the way. We're going to skip. I think maybe I'll grab the one in the terrace, because that we have to go through the passageway and it would only cost us 2 extra steps compared to going up to the secret garden in the greenhouse, which would be like 6 extra steps. So we'll grab the terrace as well. That's an easy gem to kind of add, just in case we do get the freezer. I think we should still have enough steps to do everything. So let's head to the coat check. I did forget about the idea that I was wondering if the metal detector would go off in the locker room, but it does not seem to work. It would be kind of funky if it did. It worked in the case of the Great Hall, and so it made me wonder if it could always reveal the coins behind the doors. But it makes me think that maybe these locker room rewards are random until you, like Schrodinger's cat, until you actually open the door, you don't know what you're getting. Oh, the metal detector is going off in the... Wait, I guess I missed a key over here. Apparently I missed a key in the commissary, because did we not have the metal detector yet? Yeah, we didn't get the metal detector until the courtyard. So who knows what else I'll find as I'm going back through the house here. While I'm at the commissary, I will grab the upgrade disc, because we might as well. Right? Yeah, that's the whole plan here, is to do 2 upgrade discs instead of 1. So that's what we're being... Not greedy necessarily, it's just this is our plan of attack. So we stick with the plan. Now there should be a gem here in the veranda. There it is. Ooh. And there was a... Oh, these are from the locker room, aren't they? I forgot about this. So we might have even a lot more coins at our disposal than I had thought, because the locker room is actually going to... is providing us with keys as we backtrack. I had completely forgotten about that. There's so many different effects, different rooms that interact with each other, and it's so hard to keep track of everything. It's ridiculous. We are making a stop. We'll go to the coat check first, but we are going to make that stop in the... Here's our gem in the cloister. Still wish I knew how to get these dig sites, god damn it. But we made it to the coat check, which was not a guarantee for quite a while, but we are going to check in. So many items to check. We have a next. Look at this. There's a... Oh my goodness. I guess you could check an upgrade disc if you didn't have a terminal. If you got really unlucky and never got a terminal. This treasure map is an interesting one as well. I hadn't thought of the fact that this is a checkable item, which now it makes sense to me, I guess, because the way that it was on, it showed the X on the map. It's showing you, it's a randomized treasure map. There's a different room somewhere in the estate. Now, maybe it's more likely to be in higher ranks, but who knows until we look at this treasure map on a different day. It just so happened that we got the treasure map in the room where the treasure was. Was that insanely lucky? I'm not going to check the treasure map, though, like I said, because I like the luck of the draw with the rabbit's foot. It just feels good. So there you go. Okay, we got our rabbit's foot out of danger of being lost. At least permanently. Well, it wouldn't be lost permanently. We would get it again at some point, right? We'll go to the terrace and get our gem, even though it could just be lost as well. But there's a key here. Look at this. So another key. Dude, I'm not going to waste the steps to go back to the greenhouse, but I did completely forget about the keys. So now that we're here, is just to be sure, because we're not coming back to the front of the house. I don't think there's any other business that we want to do at the front of the house, though. So we head back. We've got our upgrade discs at this point, so we head to security. That's the only terminal we've got, correct? So we head to security. And 2 days in a row, we've had 2 upgrade discs. This feels very lucky. But maybe this is just how the game is designed. We get to upgrade the parlor. What are the options? Okay. Whoa. Wait a minute. One of the options here is to have 2 wind-up keys. Just exactly how difficult is this game going to get? The other option is just to make the prize 3 gems, which feels awesome. That's my instinct here. But what's the third one? What? The third one is a funeral parlor? I'm scared. The gem prize is equal to the red rooms in your house. And if you open an empty box in the funeral parlor, you lose 30 steps. That feels terrible. The gem prize is equal to the red rooms in your house. The parlor is a common. We almost always get the parlor within the first couple ranks. We're not going to have that many red rooms, are we? Why would I? This feels like a terrible idea. The times that we have gotten the parlor at a stage of the game where this would be worth taking over just giving us a guaranteed 3 gem prize, this might be one of the worst upgrade options that I've ever seen. This feels so not worth it. Based on my limited experience, I could be a noob. Maybe the funeral parlor is the best room in the game. What do I know? But I feel like that's terrible. And I really don't think I need 2 wind-up keys. This logic game could get insanely hard. Maybe I'll be crying over passing this one 10 days from now when the parlor game is just insanely crazy difficult logic. But I think this is just the good pick. 3 gems or instead of 2? I'm taking that. Yes. The other 2 don't seem very good. So I make the decision based on the information that I've got right now. And we go again. More upgrades, more better. That's so weird. Funeral parlor. What the fuck? Ah, we're upgrading the bunk room. Now, this one is an unusual rarity, I think, so we're not going to see this one very often, but I'm curious what they're going to give us. So, the first one is if you have exactly 2 hallways when drafting this room, double your keys. I like how double is kind of like, you can see there's like a double, there's a second double word behind it. They've like, there's double. It's double. There's 2 doubles. It looks like we're getting a double in each one of these. 1 doubles our keys when we have 2 hallways, exactly. If you have exactly 2 green rooms when drafting this room, double your gems. And if you have exactly 2 shops when drafting this room, double your coins. Fuck. God damn. Extremely powerful effect in every case. Doubling any one of your currencies is even if you don't have that many, it's still a big deal to go from 2 gems to 4 gems. It's a big deal to go from 2 keys to 4 keys. And then the upside on having 4 or 5 keys or 4 or 5 gems. The big question in my mind is how often are your drafts going to be in the state here that is exactly 2 hallways or green rooms or shops? The good thing about this is that this is strictly upside. Like we're not replacing an already beneficial effect. The bunk room is already just doing what it does, being 2 bedrooms. It's everything that we get on top of this, whatever we happen to get, is just icing on the cake. But we would like to get that icing as often as we could. I feel like it's between the hallways and the shops. Yes, we got ridiculously lucky today with the green rooms, but it feels like in general, the only one that shows up consistently is the courtyard. We do have the aquarium that shows up as well, so like you could have the aquarium in the courtyard. Or we could start drafting the wings more consistently, and we could make sure that when we have a secret key, now we know where to go with the secret garden key. So maybe it would be easier to control when exactly we have 2 green rooms. And the name of the game so often is gems, gems, gems. Get as many gems as possible. We've been at a surplus today, which has been nice, but it's been because we've been drafting green rooms. We got the amazing green room synergy today. But I feel like this is more the exception than the rule. I do think that the hallways one is probably going to be the one that's easiest to get to proc. Because I feel like with both the green rooms and the shops, we've had so many days where we don't even get to 2. We don't even get to that minimum. We go often over 2 hallways, but the bunk room could show up in the middle of the draft when we just happen to have 2. We've laid down our actual hallway, and we've laid down the corridor, or maybe the passageway. We don't really want to get the passageway, I don't think, most of the time, but we might also pick up one of the west wing or east wing halls. Like, this one just feels like it's probably going to proc more often. I don't think any of these are particularly likely for us to get the effect when we need it. But if there is one that's going to work, it's probably going to be this one that involves having 2 hallways. And the other nice thing is that if you're ever stockpiling a resource, it's probably not gems. Keys are more likely, like you theoretically are not using any keys unless it's on a trunk during the first 3 or 4 ranks. So by the time you get around to rank 4 and rank 5 and you start getting the likelihood of seeing the bunk room and you have 2 hallways in place, now you get to double your keys. And you have 4 or 5 of them before you start spending them at the higher ranks. This feels like a crapshoot on this one, and it's probably not worth the amount of overthinking that I'm putting into it. So we're going to go with the 2 hallways one here and call it a day. The bunk room is unusual. We don't see it very often. So probably an effect that doesn't even really matter nearly as much as the ones when we get upgraded commons. Those are the ones we love to see. And we did get to upgrade our parlor. So now 3 gems out of our parlor is sweet. Okay, now let's go ahead and buy all of the keys that we can at the locksmith. We might not have, I was thinking originally that it might be unlimited keys at the locksmith, but now I'm not so sure. So let's get this rotunda rotated. It's a very unsettling, almost a little bit of nausea-inducing if I'm looking at the wrong thing here. But we want to do this one more time, and then we'll be rotating back to get up to the locker room. Although we may want to... how do we want to play this, actually? I may want to... I'm gonna get at least the 3 keys. Yo, wait a second. You can keep you can buy more than just... Holy shit. You can keep buying the 3 keys. Okay. I'm gonna buy another set of 3 keys. Wait a minute. It just keeps going? Is it really infinite keys? What the fuck? That's crazy, dude. I think I might just buy 3 more, but then do I need 3 more? I have 13 doors in the locker room to open, and then I potentially have... No, I don't need 13 keys. I only need potentially 16 because there's 3 more doors potentially to draft. That's the only thing I'm thinking of here. And I have 14 steps. I do have a lock pick, the ability to lock pick, so I probably don't need all 13. Let's just buy 1 of these, and now we'll exit, and we'll go ahead and spin. Now, I might go ahead and draft out of the pool. That might be the correct thing. I need to get back to the drafting studio, but I still have steps to do that, right? One way or the other, I'm rotating this, or am I? If I draft out of the pool at 13 steps, I need to get back to the locker room, which takes 2 more, and I want to get to the drafting studio. That would leave me with 9. If I get a dead end there, I can still go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and I would have enough to get back. So let's go to the locker room first. We're going to have enough to do it all, I think. If I don't screw things up here, if I'm not too much of a dingus. That may be the case, though. And if so, we'll live with it, because we must. Okay, there we go. So now, head up here into the locker room, and we go ham on the doors. We just opened them all, right? This is what we want to do. We want to open every single one, because there might be... Okay, well, there's coins and gems to find. So if we do get fortunate with a freezer, if we do get so lucky, then there's running shoes as well. Okay, so we might even save a couple steps. I forgot that the running shoes could show up in the locker room. Forgot about that little business. That would have been one reason to open all this stuff up before running all the way to the other end of the house. There are so many little potential efficiencies. Oh my god. There is a note. Holy shit. Where is the rumored room 46? Rogue Moon. Connection? Question mark. Possible theorized locations north of the antechamber. That's still a possibility, apparently. Below the foundation is not. Is this Denny? Is Denny writing this? Screenshot. Full house of 45 rooms plus back rooms? Or did it say, or does it say bunk room? He's crossed out 2 of those. Secret door in tomb. Doesn't exist. Red herring. Leaning towards this. And then he's got grotto written with a fish. Okay. I am running short on time here, so we're going to have to... I'm not going to be able to think too deeply about some of these, but we are finding things, which is what I was hoping. So let's keep opening the doors here just to be sure. Like, I don't know if those notes are in random locations, or if they're always in the same locker, but we can make note of the fact that... man, so many coins. So many coins that are probably going to waste. But the note here is in row 2, door 1. At least that's where it is today. This one, do I see a note? Wait a minute. No, that's a shelf. I thought I saw a note through the crack in the locker. I was like, can I hack the system here and see what's inside? I don't think it's going to let me do that. Am I going to have enough keys? Dude, there's a safety deposit box. Oh my god. There's a safe deposit box key. What the fuck? For 233. That was a new one. So we've had one for 304 and now one for 233. What the hell? This is turning out to be very profitable. How many do I have left here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I still didn't calculate this correctly. Why did I think I had enough to open every single door? What am I doing? What am I doing with my life? What is wrong with me here? Shit, I'm not going to get to open every single one. But we're opening every one but... Fuck. I actually want to not open some of these then. Because I've opened some of these before, and if the rooms, if the notes at least are not randomized, like maybe the deposit box key is probably randomized. I'm just going to have to, I don't have the time to think this through as much as I would like. I'm just going to have to go in order here, and then some other day, or maybe we get the steps back here at some point. I don't know. Maybe we get lucky and get some steps back, but I want to make it now to the, oh, what am I going to do? I'm just going to keep going down the line here, and whatever we happen to have, we have steps. There's apples. Okay, hold on. We might be saved. We might be saved, because maybe now we can make it back to the locksmith. This might be okay. Everything might be fine. Because maybe now I can actually open all the lockers by going back to the locksmith. Let's just keep going with what we've got here. I really want to... Okay, this is where we found the note. This is where we found the note. Was that the same place as before? I'm not sure if it was. Maybe that part is randomized. I'm going to make note of it here for this day at least. Row 5, locker 5. And I think we did open this one before. I think we opened row 5, locker 6. So let's skip that one for now and do the rest of row 6. And then we'll go buy some more keys. Because holy shit, we can buy more keys. There's a green note here. What the fuck? Kirk Darren is a pseudonym? What the fuck is going on? I'm taking screenshots here. Let me just make sure I'm taking screenshots. Yeah, I took a screenshot of the other thing. What? I don't have time to fully digest all this info. We're going to have a debrief at some point. This is insane. This was totally worth opening up the whole locker room. Oh my god. There's so much stuff to find in this game. There are so many layers to this game. We've made so many coins back as well with this fucking coin purse, and there's so many coins in the locker room. What in the world? This game is crazy. I hope I get a freezer again. I'm probably not going to get a freezer again because I'm a greedy son of a bitch. Look at those coins, though. Look at those coins. We're going back to get more keys. Because we need one... Wait a second. Did we open the whole thing? No, we had this one here that we didn't open. But I've opened it before. But we can afford more keys because we have steps. Everything is fine. Just go back and get more keys, and then you can do everything you want. No, let's do it this way. Okay, I'm panicking a little bit because I do need to hit the road. So we're gonna draft the studio. Let's do the drafting studio. There's apparently coins to find in here. Okay, good. Nothing different, I don't think. There's another coin over here. Fuck me. All these coins that we're not gonna be able to spend. Oh, but I can't draft in here because I don't have keys. Fuck me. Okay, I'm panicking and doing stupid things. What is wrong with me? In the drafting studio, you will be able to choose a brand new floor plan. Yes, I know how to do this. What are we picking? We know what the dormitory is. Oh, the classroom? You can actually add the classroom permanently to your pool? What the fuck? We also have the solarium. You are more likely to draw unusual and rare rooms while drafting. Well, I mean, that feels awesome. It's probably pretty rare itself, but it costs a gem. The quaint floral sitting room surrounded. What am I going to do here? Dormitory. After drafting a drawing room, you gain 10 steps. The solarium. Looks like it probably could be drafted anywhere. Classroom. We have done the classroom before, and we can get it with the schoolhouse. I think it's between the dormitory and the solarium. And I like the idea of the solarium. It sounds fun to me. More unusual and rare rooms while drafting, because we still have a whole bunch of rooms we've just never even probably been offered. So let's add this one. Let's get the solarium. And then I was a dingus. I didn't check to see. Let's see if we can draft this door. If we can draft it, great. It is locked. We get to try the lockpick kit, but it doesn't work. So I need to go get keys. Fuck. But I can potentially draft down from the pool. So this is still okay because we have steps. We have steps. Breathe. Breathe. Everything's gonna be fine. Everything is gonna be just fine. everything. I don't think I'm going back to the locker room to open that door. Because we're going to go to the locksmith. We have so many keys. I really want to open these last few rooms. Hopefully the pool is nice to us. Hopefully we get something good from the pool. I'm going to buy the set of 3 keys. I'm just going to buy 4 keys because that's the maximum that I could possibly need. I should have done this to begin with. I didn't realize we were going to get so many keys from the locker room. Good lord. A lot of that was the coin purse, but still. Okay. So that's maybe more keys than we're going to need. We still have a reroll, and we might use that reroll here because we're going to step in the pool, and I kind of want to get an option that goes to the right and down if I can help it. Because otherwise, we might be done. There's already a key here. Fuck. Okay, well, I wasted a few coins, but it's okay because we're probably not getting the freezer. Lockpick kit. Does work. Yo, we get a solarium offered right away. What the fuck is that shit? What the hell is that shit? If I go through the corridor and draft below it, we're done. So the corridor is basically just a reroll, so I might as well redraw here to try to get something better. Because we don't want unusual or rare here, do we? Like, I don't want the dead end here is what I want. I want to use my die and get myself more options. So let's redraw. Shit! Except we got a great haul. I was going to say, we got the attic, which has 8 items, but we don't need 8 items at this point in the game. Locked doors is actually what we want. We can do this, because now we have keys. This is perfect. And we hope for a freezer, right? We hope for a freezer. This gets us 2 shots at a freezer. We take it. I want to get that attic at some point, but now's not the time. What did I miss with the metal detector? There was another key down here. Holy shit. I really hope we get... I hope we get a freezer here. We just used our reroll, so we don't get to reroll for the freezer. But we get to at least point the Great Hall downward. And we get to draft from here. That's fine if we don't get to use our lockpick, because we got plenty of keys. Utility closet. Bro. That's not what I need right now. I can't get back to the dark room. I don't care about the gym anymore. The utility closet does nothing for me. So I have to take the archive floor plan and try to get lucky. We don't do the weight room. Gamba! That's a hallway, right? That is a hallway with a key that we don't need. Let's open these doors. I forgot we have the lockpick kit. So the Great Hall with the lockpick kit is actually... Wow. That's synergy I think they talked about in the drafting strategy book. Dude. We're going to have so many gems that are just going to go to waste here, aren't we? I should have taken that freezer. But we got the intel from the locker room. We're going to have to go through that next time because I'm just out of time for today. But I'm so excited to try to digest that. That was the whole point, was to get the... Oh, but this... I forgot about the fucking... Can we get to the vault? We can't get to the vault, can we? Unless the running shoes saves us steps. We have to rely on the running... Shit, I forgot all about the vault key. We might not be able to use the vault key because I am... Shit. We got the lockpick kit to work once there. Let's see what we draft. Shit. Shit. We would get to draft the music room. And we would get to see a new room. And we would get to spend some gems. And we would get to see the difference between a major and minor key. Oh, I know what it is, right? The major and minor key is just... It's like one of... The major key is one of the more special keys. That's what it is. But your chance at the sauna or the freezer lies within the gamba. Misplays were made. I think if I'd have known that the kitchen was not going to be unlimited, I don't know. It might have been a mistake going back to the coat check to check in the rabbit's foot. I also kind of like... I should have bought more keys when I had the chance and not done extra backtracking. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. So many. Except, wait a second. The nursery does buy me steps. The nursery would buy me the steps to get to the vault. That's the play, isn't it? We lose so many things. Do Do we see what information is in the vault? Or do we try to gamba and get, in the best case, a freezer? The freezer is probably like, I don't know, a 2% chance, 3% chance. And I'm not even sure. That's the thing, is if we take that freezer, we're just sort of saying, you know what, I might not make it back to the vault with my running shoes. Maybe I will, because I only need one extra step. I only need the running shoes to proc one time as I'm running back to the vault. And that's so, dude, that's so many fucking gems and coins that you would start the day with. It's almost too much. This run has just been ridiculous. We also came so close to fully filling up the house. That's the most filled up floor plan we've ever had, which is just insane. The synergy we had with the green rooms was just remarkable. I'm going to feel really bad if I take the gamble here and it's not a freezer or a sauna or a mailroom. And that's the overwhelming odds are that it's not going to be one of those rooms. I think the smart pick here is to take the nursery or the music room, one or the other. You either take the new room and then you see what there is to glean. Like maybe there's another music sheet we got to keep putting together. It's a very high chance, I think, almost certainty that there's another one of these 8 or more music sheets that are around this place that we got to piece together. So we do gather that bit of intel, guaranteed, or we take the nursery and we open the safe deposit box in the vault and we see what that holds. I feel like it's a more rare circumstance to get both the vault offered and have a safe deposit box key. That is probably, I feel like it's going to happen less often than just having the music room offered by itself. So because of that, I think the smart play is to take the nursery. I just hate losing 18 gems and 57 coins. I feel like such a dummy, but we did get 2 upgrade discs. We said to ourselves, that's what we're doing. We're just taking that risk and living with what we get, and it's fine. And if we take the nursery and get 8 steps, we would be able to go to the vault, and we might even be able to like go back to the casino and spend all our coins gambling for one last thing. And we might be able to make it to the locker room to open that last locker just to satisfy my curiosity. So let's take the nursery. It feels really bad that we're going to end the day this way, but I think I would feel worse if we don't get to see what's in that vault. And the gamba is just not worth it. Now what is really not worth it, I don't think, is to step into the nursery and get that gem. There's only a gem that's across the way, right? There's nothing else that helps us. So we already got our 8 steps. We turn tail and we go and we make hay. We make haste. We don't make any more hay, unfortunately. There's no more hay to be made. There's no more gambling to be done. There's no more keys that we need to buy from the locksmith, although we could just for the heck of it to see if they're really unlimited, except that would cost steps. So what we really need to do is just go straight for the vault. Rotate until we have a door going to the cloister. And then we run, because running, theoretically, it gets, there we go, the running shoe already procced. Already got the proc from the running shoe. And we make it into the vault. And now we get to check, what was it? 233. 233 is right here. Of course we would use it. Why would I not? Why would I not? There's another red letter. Holy shit. And we have an allowance token. Your allowance has been permanently raised by 2? Wait, what? You have an allowance token? Does that mean we start the day with 2 coins? Holy shit. We also got a whole bunch more coins here, which is just embarrassing. Look at this. We have fucking 91 coins. Are you fucking serious? But we also have... Oh, it's a passport. I thought it was a red letter. It's a passport. Look at this crazy symbol here. Screenshot. And it's a passport for our... Wait a minute. It's not a passport for our mom, except it is, but it's for Gray Daniels. Compromised. What the fuck? Okay. Again, I'm short on time, and we're going to have to soak in some of these details, perhaps with a debrief next episode. But holy moly, I'm glad I did that. We can close this? Apparently, we could close that. But there we go. Passport, was there anything That was it. No previous, no next page after, like, looking at the back or anything like that. What the fuck? Our mom, this was part of her getting away, right? Her disappearance. She had a fake passport. Why was that? Oh my God, questions still. Locker room? There's nothing else we can do here, man. I'm sad. Boy, we dug out a lot of the archives, didn't we? Holy shit. This game is just fucking nuts. Fucking insane. We'll use this last key. Oh my God, more coins. Dude, you know what we get to do now? I think if the coin purse procs one more time, which it does, we get to gamble. Look at that. 100 coins. Perfect. It's dude, okay, maybe this was destined to be. We get one spin at the roulette wheel to finish our day. Okay. And look at that. I do see now we know what that is. There's an allowance token in play. Holy crap. So this could be a permanent upgrade. This is so worth going for. Of course, because what else are we going to do with these coins? We get it now. The roulette wheel has permanent upgrades that we could potentially get. Although it looks like we're not going to get it. Shit! God damn it. No! Oh my God. That is so fucking hype though. What is that? Dude, what the fuck? There's 4 allowance tokens. There's also 200 coins. There's 2 free spins. There's 4 gems and 4 keys. There's 300 coins. God damn. Oh my God. I do want to spin this roulette wheel again. Knowing there's permanent upgrades to be had. I'm very excited to start the next day with 2. We got more steps. Is there possibly anything else that I would want to do in this fucking house? I don't think so. And I'm out of time. I've already said it a bunch of times here. We've done what we can. We've done our security upgrades. We've checked in our lucky rabbit's foot. The day has completed. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a frozen day. There's no Elsa singing to us with our gems and our coins here that are going to be just flying away into the ether. Goodbye, 27 gems. Goodbye, because I must call it a day. I have to hit the road and get the hell out of here. Let's wrap up by looking at our screen. What a draft. After the events of yesterday, there was no hope in my mind of having anywhere close to the same level of excitement. And boy, did we get there. This draft was almost crazier in some ways, but the synergy with the green rooms was just, didn't know we could do that. Now we know that's a thing. You got to be on the wings for it to happen. So many rooms that are only draftable on the wings. 5 of them here that we got. And we got 2 cloisters because of the secret passage. That terrace cloister synergy. No wonder we drafted so many rooms. No wonder we were able to almost fully draft those 2 pesky rooms up in the top left corner. We got the vault. There's a fake passport of our mom's that we found. We got the rotunda. 7 new rooms. What the fuck? This game, I'm just having way too much fun with, and I cannot wait to check more closely examine all of the intel that we've picked up today that we had to rush through. And I'm excited to see what a new draft is going to have in store. This game is wild. It's blown my mind. I'm kind of obsessed with it. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen on day 11. Thank you all very much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next one.